Underdog Daily with the Badge Bros, Jon and Nez, doing a winner's circle on the Black and Yellow Dog app platform of the people on a Wednesday. Odd little shake up here because of the Canadian holiday there, but we're still going to do it. We're still going to do it. We had some good community wins over the weekend there, Nez, and we got maybe arguably I put my hat in the ring for pound best player on the site, right?
Ooh.
Joining us. I mean, there's some really good ones out here. He's proven that there's a clear top three, top four, and he's closer to the top than the bottom of that grouping.
Yeah, a lot of success across multiple sports. You guys have obviously seen his name quite a bit. Excited to get to talk with our guy once again. He's been to the last that'll be 3 dog bowls if you include NBA. Wasn't at the first one, but the last 3 dog bowls he's been a part of. So very impressive.
I did a little research on this one, Nez. The only people that can match him, I believe, there's Chad could match him by going to 3 out of 4. Sam Olsen could go to 3 out of 4. Best Ball Viper could go to 3 out of 4. And there was someone else when I was doing my research. Chad's was all football, though, not he missed the basketball in between there. But yeah, very, very incredible feat there. The first of his kind to be in 3 out of 4 dog bowls ever.
Yeah, very impressive. Winter Circle Wednesday does have a nice ring to it. I know we've got so much going on Wednesdays, but that is that does have a nice ring to it.
Yeah, it does. It does. Yeah, weird week here. If you guys missed yesterday, Multisport Draft League Tuesdays, Winky was on, talked NBA. I did another 5 drafts after talking to him last night because I felt so confident based on some of the conversations we had. So if anybody is interested in getting in those double dribble streets, they're filling rapidly. We got about 5-6 more days of drafting here. NBA tips off next Tuesday there. So go check that one out. Nez, without further ado, what do you think?
Let's do this.
It's true. The courtesy invite of Jon, 4 out of 4 on dog polls. Yes,
that's very true.
That's true. Jon is 4
got me beat.
He's 4 for 4 in attending at dog bowls. He's 0 for 4 in participating in them.
Hey, it still counts, sort of.
It's sort of. He's there for the vibes and the good energy. Yeah, dude, let's do it. I got my job lined up. Do you have yours?
I sure do.
All right, here we go. Count it down. 3, 2, 1. Yo. There he is. Golf claps all around. Welcome back to the program. Our guy, Awen. What's up, my friend? How you doing?
Yo, doing well. It's a good Wednesday. Good day off yesterday.
Good day off? Yeah, no, you weren't in the streets at all yesterday?
Well, I was in baseball, but I kind of just autoed it. I really thought that it would be with the bullpen kind of depleted, it'd be a sneaky Peralta leverage. But, unfortunately, doesn't get the Q start because he gets pulled at 15 outs, I think. So
yeah.
Or 17 outs. Sorry.
Yep. Yeah, it was 1 out away. It was very, very unfortunate. Muncy kind of ruined that party in the 6th.
Yeah, works out. It's whatever.
He was on the Bryce Miller trajectory where you give up a home run in the first inning and then you somehow right the ship immediately for the next, I guess 4, maybe 5 after that. Yeah. Yeah, dude, you're talking about baseball. You're talking about, being in these NFL streets, that sort of thing. You're doing it all right now. We were talking behind closed doors about, 2 weeks ago about Best Puck Classic as well, that you were getting in those streets, man. Yeah, what's the volume been like? What's the life of a hardcore grinder on the site been like? How many drafts we putting in a week here?
Yeah, well, it's kind of nice. After I graduated, I recently just got my bachelor's. I had obviously a lot more free time on my hands. And over the summer, when there was nothing really going on, I'm not really a best ball guy, so I was just kind of lazy. I didn't get into it, so I was just doing baseball, and really found my stride there. And I really want to do hockey, but man, that was brutal because I entered maybe like 8 or so, and then 3 in a row got canceled, and I was like, man, this isn't like it's just a brutal, brutal waste of time there. Yeah, but I wish I did more. I really did not get that much volume down. I'll see whether or not I get the time to do basketball. But the thing I really hate about best ball is like, if somebody, you get injury, it's like you got to sit with that for the rest of the season, At least with the daily stuff, it's like, or the weekly stuff, it's like, tough luck. But like, I think I wouldn't be able to handle it. I know last year Dak got injured pretty early in the season, and that was kind of brutal.
Yeah, like last year, like 2 of my biggest calls in best ball were like Diggs and Godwin, 2 guys off to like awesome starts out for the season, and then like on paper you just look like you're a bum and had an awful season. But in reality, it's like if things, if these guys don't die, then you could actually have had a pretty decent run out. But them's the breaks, man. Them's the breaks for sure. It is nice to be able to turn the page on the dailies for sure.
Yeah, having a lot of fun with those, and I'll see whether or not I can really get into hockey. It's kind of hard when obviously there's so many sports going on, but I'll try my best.
Yeah, so like when you are picking stuff like this, Awen, is it just prize pool that's like the dependency for you? Like you're just looking for best opportunity to make money on these slates, or is it like you're genuinely trying to play sports that you want to watch and care about? Like what's your avenue of attack here?
Yeah, I mean, I just mainly play everything. I think nowadays, it's kind of fortunate that basketball's not on yet. We got, another in 10 days. But for the most part, when football, it was just football and baseball. I really just spent, my weekends. I would draft late in the week, and then baseball could usually jam in the morning.
Yeah.
And then Tuesdays and Wednesdays were like kind of my day off. Like I would like just do some VOD review, watch some games, analysis, and that's it.
Right on, man. You came on back in the day here. The guys are shouting it out in the chat that Projection Bro would never have that sweet Steelers Letterman jacket behind you there. You talked about how you were like a little bit more of the knowing ball on your own accord, a little bit more of the building your own stuff out. Have things changed for you? Are you reliant on other sources? Or are you really just like, hey man, I'm Awen, I know ball, I know best, and I play as I see fit?
Yeah, no, I still don't use any projections. I remember I caught a lot of flack because I didn't know who Cardi was, and that's my fault. I did not know ball. It's just for me. I think that for me it doesn't really make sense if you're playing a game versus other people to be using the same sources as them.
Right.
So I think it's best to have your own projections based off like the matchups and everything like that.
Right on, man. Like, we could use let's use football as the example because you just took down Dog Bowl's seat here. What kind of stuff do you look into for football on your own?
Mainly just key matchups. I mean, whether it's on the defensive side, I know I told Nez the other day that I didn't like the Rome pick. I mean, he still had a chance to get there, but I just really didn't see how split that receiving room was for him to get there. The true one on that team. So I kind of like that PTP. I just basically faded him completely. Which
Okay.
Kind of, like Debo really also didn't get there, so it was just basically Drake plus whichever tier 3 receiver you got, and couldn't really get that one correct.
Needed to be Chris Moore, unfortunately, man. I don't know if your stuff got you there, but I do want to. I mean, like, and you can stop me, but like the line here is you don't use projections, but like you're making your own, are you not?
Yeah. I mean, it's
okay.
It's like you definitely have to like keep track of it, right? Because things obviously change throughout the week, whether especially for football, right? Like whether key defensive players are out, I keep record of it in a sheet and things like that. It's really hard to, especially in these DBQs to have 72 players, or at least 72 players in your mind, right? So
yeah,
I still obviously keep record of that, but when it comes to like pulling stuff from other sites, no, not really. I still keep an eye on it, right? I'll hear people talk about this guy's projection in chat, or some people using tools and stuff like that, but not really for me. So
awesome, man. I like this. Look, very throwback. When we made the joke, what was it, a year ago or something like that? That young Utica vibe the projections. The Sims are in Awen's head, man. Like
Yeah.
truly that vibe, man. What's your vibe now that you're done with school and stuff like that? Are you just playing Underdog full time? Are you doing other stuff as well? You doing some sports betting stuff? Are you a working man now, or are you just a grinding man?
Yeah, well, I'm basically doing it full time. I do a couple of side gigs here and there for other people. I'm really just studying for my CFA exam, so financial
Nice.
analysis for in February. I'll be taking my level 1 exam. But job market's kind of rough, so I feel like a lot of people that are recent graduates would say that. So I'm kind of fortunate that I can just pretty much do this full time. And when it comes to sports betting, I'll I'm lucky enough to get some action here and there. But funny joke for the guys in the chat, but I actually got banned recently just from sports betting. So it kind of sucked, but
When you say, can we delve into that? When you say banned, did you get like banned or did you get limited?
No, I was limited like a year ago, and then I got banned. I got limited within my first like few months, and then I recently just got an email where they're like, "Oh, we don't want to take your business anymore." And I was like, "Okay," and I thought that was crazy because I was like, I thought that they couldn't do that. I thought like the reason why they limited was so that they can't officially ban.
Yeah, basically what they do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I saw in the news recently that New York's one of the because obviously there was a big one in Massachusetts, and this is straying away from the games, but they're trying to enact some like fair play laws where like they can't ban people or they can't limit people, and we'll see where they go with that. But for the most part, it's not really that much fun. I enjoy drafting a lot more than regular betting.
Right on. Yeah, man. Labor of love, right? Like you genuinely have to love drafting these games. You've talked about the auto draft stuff and whatnot. Are you still like in these lobbies at times? Are you still hand building here? You still grinding?
Yeah, so for the most part, I'll hang grind, right? Like, I have time, but there's some weekends because it's brutal, right? Because I do late week drafting. I really need that day off Tuesday, Wednesday. If I have something planned with friends, I'm going out. Like yesterday, I basically auto because I was out in the city. So, and this past weekend, it's just really funny that it's kind of ironic that this is the way I qualify. I pretty much autoed most of my drafts this week. I did about like 50 DBQs hand build, and then the rest were just auto. And I could definitely see that in my exposures. And it's pretty funny because that's basically what I did last year. And now this is the week I qualified. With the first week, I basically just auto most of it. I know last year actually I qualified the same exact week. I think something with the buys really helps.
Okay.
Kind of, and that makes sense, right? There's more tier breaks, right, for these players.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well said there.
Who was some of your who was one of your more higher exposed players last week? I have a player in mind, but I'm curious who you landed on.
I had Stafford a bunch.
Yeah,
but it was basically Stafford for that kind of like weird round 4 QB pick.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really like it too much, to be honest, but there wasn't really much to stand out there.
Yeah.
The other, the tier, that tier of quarterbacks, Drake May and everything like that.
Yeah, ahead of him.
They posted some scores, but May. I had Stafford as my top QB actually. I switched it around. I didn't just throw one. Like I adjusted my ranks in between. At some point, because the nice thing about DBQ is that it's not all 150 going out at once. You can change your ranks at some point.
For sure.
And then I had my exposures pulled up. I think another thing I did was I had a lot of Rodgers as my 6th round pick for QB. I think it was kind of crazy that all the QBs were going in round 4. I took a sneak peek at the ADPs this week, and I thought that was crazy. But if I had pulled up, I remember I had a lot of Rodgers and a lot of Metcalf. So that's
yeah.
But it kind of got there anyways, because the thing about stacking versus not stacking, like somebody like Rodgers, like that team's gonna throw to their 3rd string, 4th string tight end that nobody's gonna draft anyways. So it's like pinning a tail on donkey. You don't know where you're going with that. And then I had a lot of the New Orleans guys. I had a lot of Saints guys, as you can see there. I mean, I think anybody that's doing the drafts a lot with me lately knows I was pretty high on Olave just because of target share. His ADP has gone up a lot. And so
maybe not enough. Some are saying.
Yeah, I mean it's hard because like even then he had that huge drop, and when I was like kind of like semi sweating, I was like, damn, like that's crazy. They had that drop, and then Jawan also with that fumble that really pissed me off. That was like so terrible. I mean he played like he just played terrible the entire game. Kamara round 6 kind of just made sense. I should have jammed more of him at that point. I didn't even realize that he was that low ADP because like even if nobody was taking the other guy,
Kendra Miller.
Yeah, Kendra Miller. So
Yeah.
it's like even if he doesn't play, you just swap to him, and it's just like I always I think a lot of people know I'm always usually high on Kamara.
You are, yeah, always.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean he had his like best receiving game here too, but I mean you can't really run on the Patriots, so I guess maybe that makes little sense. So
yeah, it's always good with that, and PPR. Like I have a home league that's PPR, and I just love having Kamara, even though he's been serviceable for the past few years.
Yeah,
that crushed it.
For the audio listeners here, it was a Drake May, Rico Dowdle, who will be a staple of a lot of these teams coming up here. Alvin Kamara, who was only 45% drafted, as Awen saying, in this contest. George Pickett's. Kamara had the Q tag all week there. Olave there, and then Michael Mayer, who was the benefactor of Brock Bowers missing there. Do you recall? I know you said you did a bunch of auto drafting, but do you recall like this specific one? Because this one is quite correlated. You get the Rico off of the Pickens, and then you get the Kamara plus Olave off of the Drake May. Do you think this was a hand-build one?
Nope. I'm pretty sure this was an auto one. Yeah, mostly because I probably wouldn't have put Kamara and Olave together. It kind of worked out that way, but yeah, kind of works out. I know it was kind of hard just because like, some of these like Saints guys and the Raiders guys, like it's really hard for them to find the end zone. But just their target share is just insane, So this week, another guy I think a lot of people knew I was high on was Jacoby Myers, but this week I just notched him down and then just bumped Mayer for the target share. But I wouldn't have had Mayer and Myers together.
Right. Yeah, that checks out. Awen, are you going to keep shooting for multiple seats here? Are you maxing every single week? Had you been maxing every single week for the Dog Bowl?
Yeah, I mean, close enough. I think that it's been filling really fast. I'm going to go for more seats. I think it just makes the most sense. Definitely a lot of fun in some of these lobbies, and it'd be nice to get more seats. Last year I did the same thing, and if things check out, it'd be week 10. So.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That was a crazy week. I remember Jake Ferguson scored 2.4.
That was Jake Ferguson 2-point week. Yep.
Yeah, that was
still qualified.
Yeah. Big first game.
Sick. This is the pressing question of our generation. Will you auto the finals? I know I dared you to do it in Dallas last time, but you draft so effing fast with your fingers anyways. It feels like you're autoing. You were putting the pressure on guys with how fast you were picking in those lobbies.
Yeah, if I get more seats, I'll probably just auto one of them. I think it's like it is really probably the first one I'll auto, and then from there I'll figure it out. If I get more seats, obviously. Also, want to give a shout. I remember you guys talking about like how many people qualify for like multiple dog bowls. I think Dan also could qualify for 3 or 4. If he makes it to the hoops one, that's next.
Yeah.
Did Preciado make a hoops dog bowl?
No, but I think he made Dallas last year.
Yeah. So he would be he's 2 of 4. Yeah. So he's in rare air.
Yeah.
You're still in your own tier. But Dan in 2 of 4 is up there.
I know that I'm gonna get caught. I mean, like I think it'd be crazy unless Sam's like not maxing for Sam not to be there. I mean, I know you guys talking about like other top talents, and it'd be kind of crazy if Sam wasn't there. I hope he's maxing. It'd be fun to see him.
Yeah. Likewise, man. Yeah, truly a head-to-head there. The other guy that I really want to make his appearance that is Mount Rushmore adjacent right now is Car Park. I really want Car Park to find his way there. I want the meeting of the minds of Awen, Sam Olsen, and Car Park hanging out. That's what I want. I want to see that in real time.
Yeah, he's really come onto the scene recently.
Yeah, man.
I know a couple years I don't think he was really around. That's crazy. You mentioned Rushmore. I like you guys do it this year. I think you guys did this year. There's a lot more funnier names that are out there. I remember those.
Yeah, we haven't done an update to that in a while. We got to do an update to the Mount Rushmore, and you will certainly be on it, my friend. Actually, one that we could also talk about right now is out of nowhere. The Brontosaurus Rex, takes down the main BR and then takes down a dog bowl seat the following week. So that was truly sick there. An appearance from your guy, Jalen Warren, on this one, Nez. But this was the Keyshawn Booty, scroll the F down, 6% own smash job.
Yeah, man, I am fully jealous I did not get on Booty. I mean, two absolute clunkers in my wide receiver spots there that really held me back from knocking out Awen, which is very, very frustrating.
Let's see. Nez had a Matthew Golden swap and then had the Jacoby Myers one, but you slammed this early. This must have been early in the week where you were able to get HN and Rico and Warren all on the same team.
Yeah, I think there was like 10 of that combo of HN and Rico, but you just had to get to Booty if you wanted to like have a shot, or not Jacoby, which I mean, Jacoby just made a lot of sense for this team, but never Jacoby until he's a Steeler. Then maybe I can draft him again.
that would be playing him. Oh man, yeah, nice shit there. And then the other one I got to hit on here, Awen, is Jay Baconator, man. Jay Baconator had a really nice year in the baseball streets. We know he's renowned in the golf streets. He's done some content with us before here, and he shared a really cool story with me here. So he qualifies here. He took down the Wildcat after taking the master class in week 1 or 2. He takes it down, and then his college roommate takes down the Wildcat the following week. And then this week he takes down, and him and his college roommate, they're still really good buddies and they still talk all the time. They talk strategy all week long about guys they're going to draft. And then this week he takes down this contest, and his college roommate happens to be Sunday main slate. Where are we going? Winner here. J-Sam 9995, and they're college roommates and they're buddies. They've both won the Wildcat now, and now one's won the main BR and one has won a dog bowl seat this season. So truly sick.
That's cool, man. Just two grinders, just shooting the shit and getting home. Yeah.
It's like if you and I were better, Nez.
I'm pulling my weight, brother.
I'm smelling the roses. Yeah, dude. Awen, anything else you want to talk about? Anything else we should hit on before we let you go here and we rip off to week 7? You got any takes for week 7 just yet?
I haven't even looked. Today's my day off. I'm just gonna watch VODs and then just do some review. But for the most part, I think the field's definitely gotten sharper. I think that they're getting better. So I always like a challenge, right? So I gotta stay ahead of the game. If I really want to cement myself, I guess I gotta study more, do more work.
Sounds good, man. I respect it. Awen, always a pleasure, dude. Look forward to hanging out together in KC. We've always had a great time together. I know you're gonna be studying for the CFAs, and actually, speaking of which, in the chat here, there was some mad love for you, where some people want to hire you already. Other people are studying for their CFAs as well. Here, Socrates is doing his as well. I know that can be a grind. Blake did his as well. So you got some connections within the community once you obtain that status, that if you are happening to, go into that grown-up life career path, I think there's some connections here for you of people that respect your game, my friend. But yeah, man, we really look forward to Kansas City together.
I'll see you guys around.
Yeah, and no falling asleep this time.
Yeah. I'm just saying, if the slate is over at 1:30 again, you will see me studying. I'm just gonna pack my bags.
Oh,
That's
good
awesome.
shit. All right, see you, buddy.
All right, thank you.
Peace, Awen.
There is a legendary photo from the Dog Bowl there in San Diego where he was going to get kicked out of the bar because they thought he was too intoxicated, and I was like, no, this kid doesn't even drink. Like, he's just sleepy as hell because he's been studying all night long, then did the drafts, and then the slate. He was sleeping in the corner, and she's like, we can't have him sleeping in the bar. And I'm like, we rented the bar from you. Like, what do you mean we can't have him sleeping? He can do whatever the fuck he wants.
Kind of a fair point, right? I mean, we own this bar for the next few hours. Let my boy take a nap.
Let my boy have a nap, right? And then the manager was getting kind of cross with me, and I was like, go away. We're good. He's fine.
Too many sodas for you, I think.
Evergreen. Dude, yeah, great stuff here. You were directionally accurate as well there. We had some other friends up here that are directionally accurate as well. Angelix almost got his second seat there as well. Buster Boys is up here. Dave is always close there. Pour one out for Aaron, who wins or loses another close one here. That's a 0.61. There's been some really close third place sweats this season. Anything to say on Dog Bowl from last week, Nez?
No, it was just a one of those slates where couple have to have it players, and is really kind of the story of the week. And those weeks are tough because there's no room for error. So yeah.
Dude, I'm genuinely curious how many of these stacks Brontosaurus Rex had of Keishon Boutte, because he has 1, 2, 3 in the top 15, and they're all Keishon Boutte mini stacks. Like,
yeah, I'll see if I can pull it up on BBMDB.
Wow, that is something.
You gotta figure out how to spell his name first.
Yeah, dude, I was looking for him on the X machine. If he's around or you're hanging out in the chat, say what up, man. Because I was trying to get in touch with him and just had no way of doing so, because that's back-to-back weeks where he's winner circle eligible, and I'd never really seen his name on the site until the last like 2 or 3 weeks, and people are telling me he comes from the redacted streets back in the day and has always been a good player. So I'm genuinely really curious.
Yeah. I'm not entirely sure. I wasn't familiar with his game either, but I also heard similar things. He had 15 Keishon Boutte teams.
Wow, that's crazy. Like that is so dialed, man.
That's how about that?
Wow. Yeah, Neil said he knows him. That's crazy. Wow, good for him. 15 teams of scroll the F down Keishon Boutte. Wow.
I'm gonna do some quick math here and figure out how many of the Keishon Boutte teams that existed he had. He had half of all Keishon Boutte teams in Dog Bowl.
Sick, man. That's nasty. What can you see his Drake May exposure total? Like, did he just jam Drake May and like do 150 and play him in 60%?
25 Drake May teams
out of 150.
I think so. It's only showing 131. I know that there was some. I don't know if PD has every single one of those lineups in there, but yeah, looks like he basically maxed.
Wow, very impressive. Very impressive stuff there. Go back to the main winner here. Got to give a shout out to our guy Bound, who is winner circle eligible with this $13K prize. I actually didn't even think to include him.
Oh no!
I was just trying to hunt down the winners. I didn't even think to be like, oh yeah, Bound's winner circle eligible. Bound, if you would like to come on the program, I will make an exception. I'll have you on tomorrow, and we'll do winner circle with you, because he's been a long time supporter and he was so effing close to this one. The JSAM team, Pete broke it down on Best Ball Breakfast, so we don't necessarily have to go deep into the woods here, but a unique combination of GM fallers here. All good plays on the weekend. You get the skinny stack with the Rico bring back. You get a Josh Jacobs fall. You get a Tyler Warren fall. I had a couple of JSN plus Jacobs in my bag. I was playing Achan over Jacobs, and I looked like a damn savant until the bitter end there, and then they ended up with I think 0.5 apart there. So yeah, that was a good team up top there. Pat Moore Poker, who came through and dropped off 5 memberships at the top here, a masterclass proponent. He's been around all summer long and then continues to be. He takes down a 4K score in 11th place there. Got to shout that one out. Yeah, just got on some great plays there.
Yeah. Love to see it, man. Pat Moore's been crushing this past month. So love to see that.
I got some other winners for the community, Nez, but while we are looking at the main stuff here, what was your biggest, best plays, leaks, etc. this week? I'll bring up my exposures for the people and we could kind of look.
Yeah, I felt like I was on everything pretty well. The biggest leak in my game was the soft fade of George Pickens. Okay. I was off that and trying to do more scrolling. Later in the week, I was getting once we got the QJ definitive news, I was jamming Ladd. I was jamming Olave. I had Rico. I had a ton of Rico. So that was cool for what it was worth. But yeah, the soft fade of Pickens is what really killed me. I tried that's where I was trying to scroll, and it was a chalk week, man. It was a chalk week, and admittedly, those are not always going to be my weeks. Rarely ever the way that I'm playing right now, where I want to scroll more than the field is, and it definitely cost me. So no real regrets. Loved the Gent. I had a lot of Genty like you did. Genty had 25 touches last week. Really deserved a better score, but the Raiders are just that bad that we can't get. You can't get the 30 ball there. I know it's a lot to ask, but a lot of touches for Genty, so I felt good about that call. But ton of Rico. Just unfortunately, not enough George Pickens for me to make a big enough difference.
Yeah, right on, man. Yeah, I think that's a pretty clean assessment of it there. Yeah, I liked the way I played this week. I mean, a slight losing week or whatever, a couple $100 here or there, but took a big stand on the JSN. I was wrong on the Rachaad White plus versus Rico. That was probably my biggest misstep. Is I played the shit out of Rachaad White and I played a whole bunch of Baker to go alongside that Tampa stuff. So Baker and Drake May were big targets for me. Herbert actually wasn't really a target for me. It turned into a target for me when we got the QJ out and I started jamming Ladd like you did. So very similar thought process there. I still had 12% Rico, which isn't terrible, but I kind of soft faded that top tier of the JT and whatever, and then was playing the secondary tier of running back because I wanted to have so much JSN. And then I thought Achane was, we talked about it on Wednesday's show. I thought he was a better play than Jacobs, and everyone was going to play Jacobs. It didn't end up mattering because it was 29 versus 29.5. I mean, Jacobs ends up being the better play there. But I was really trying to get some of those combos, and that led me there. The Devontae Adams stuff didn't age well. The Puka stuff, obviously, he gets hurt. Ibuka gets hurt, which really sinks a whole lot of those Baker lineups I had going. And then I stayed pretty tight at tight end with the top 4 or 5, and then Taysom as the wild card. Taysom finds the end zone on the play in which everybody knows is going to Taysom. A couple more community shout outs here, Nez, that I wanted to. Oh, shit. There we go. A couple other community shout-outs I wanted to give. Our guy, man, Top Fantasy Plays, takes down the Deposit Kingdom. Here, our guy, Justin, big shout-out there, man. He's been around for a long time. Had some really good plays in the NBA stuff last year. Just wanted to send him some love because we haven't talked to him in a while, but he was always hanging out in the chat, formerly of the Unabated team there. And then we got tagged in a whole bunch of stuff on the X Machine, man. Bound was there. David continues to cook. He shouted out the masterclass in week 1. And then we get a 4 digit screenshot from him every week now. He takes down the cover 4 there. Our guy T-Box sending some love. Our guy Car Park with the double scoop in the squib kick there for that's early only was squib kick. Yeah. Early only from Bound there. And then the Dog Bowl qualifier from this week, man. We go from a week that had 22x take it down to now 198.45x was the Dog Bowl qualifier this week in the pick'em. Truly sick by Dylan here Man, that's fucking huge.
I mean, it makes sense. Like awesome. But I guess what I'm trying to say is like when you compare the results of the BRs and DFS to like what the Dog Bowl winner is going to be, I think it makes sense that like the chalkier the results are, like the bigger the multiplier will be in
really
these. But not that like, oh, it makes sense. Like anybody could have got to 198x. No, that's not what I was trying to say. What a monster entry here. And how, John, I mean, like obviously it's a sweat leading up to it, but like when you're sitting on this thing and all you need is Josh Jacobs, I mean, you're counting your fucking money, right? I mean, that's insane.
Yeah, did you know Josh Jacobs was really sick during that game and like threw up on the sidelines and stuff like that?
Yeah, that's like the trendy thing now is to throw up on the football field. I don't buy it.
Oh yeah, maybe he's not actually sick. He's just like, shedding a little bit out there because he's working so hard.
So I mean, like it just it's no big deal. He's not actually sick.
Yeah, I hand up. I never worked hard enough on the ice in my entire life to throw up while out there.
No, I tended to stop before I threw up from exertion. Yeah. I mean, like, what did you eat? Like how does that happen? I'm sorry. Maybe I just don't have it. I don't have it in me. But like, what? I just don't understand.
These guys built different, man. We got tagged in a couple more in the Discord there. Nez, give some shout out to Law here. Takes down second place for 500 there. Love to see it. Was giving some love in the chat and whatnot. This is a Bryce Young hat tip to you, Nez, with the Bryce Young double stack and then Pickens on the bring back. There's that Pat Moore one again from the Discord. Thanks again for the 5 Bash Bros memberships, my friend. Lou Dog, baby, single bullet. He was like, yo, I'm going to play one entry and I'm going to make it count this week. And turns 5 into 400. Mad respect there. And then Julio Nation getting on that Rico plus Josh Jacobs combo. So much overlap in these lineups this week in terms of like it was Rico, Pickens, Jacobs. And then it was kind of like, did you play naked Drake May or did you play skinny stack Brian Thomas, that sort of thing? Tight end had a bunch of usable scores.
Yeah. Usual suspects. You're going to see in a lot of these for sure.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Yeah, go me, Thomas Law. There you go. Mad respect, my friend. Nez, let's push into the main slate, dude. Let's do the damn thing. We got a little bit of a hard out today, so we're going to push the pace a little bit on this one. There's only 2 teams on bye this week. That is Baltimore and Buffalo. This was a big eliminator ass week, if you guys remember back to like when the money cutoff was going to be and people were worried about elite quarterback and would you be able to push the Jamar and Josh Allen teams through if you were dealing with this week 7 bye, just to reset everybody's memory there. We have another international game that is going to make for a triple header slate for tomorrow's slate. Might be a paywall show tomorrow. Nez and I haven't discussed there yet, but that Thursday night football game features your Steelers and Joe Flacco Bowl. Then there is the London game, which is Rams and Jacksonville Jaguars, if I recall there. And then there's 2 Monday night football games double stacked up that is including a late West Coast Seattle game there. So there's what is that, 5 games off the main slate and then 2 elite quarterbacks removed from the main slate too. So we got a 10-game main slate. As I pull it up here, Nez, just macro thoughts on the slate right now. How you have been drafting?
Yeah, I'm like pretty concentrated this week for sure, but it definitely feels like, and I think maybe it's evidenced by the only 2 bye weeks on top. It can obviously we have all these primetime games. That's really been the norm, but only 2 teams on bye this week, maybe contributing to what feels like a deeper slate and a better slate than what we're used to in the past. Like I think this is the deepest slate we've had since like week 5, maybe 4. I can't remember, but yeah, this feels like a fun slate with a lot of options to draft. So we'll see how that ends up playing out results wise. But yeah, I think this slate in a word is just pretty awesome. That's 2 words.
Nice.
Words.
Yeah, pretty awesome. We had to sneak the pretty in there. Yeah, hyphenated. Pretty awesome. Nez, I just slipped my mind here that I forgot to hit on the Primetime Palooza from Monday night that you broke down behind the paywall for the people there. Shout out to Fully Loaded and Brenna James, longtime friends of the show, that took that one down. I see Fully Loaded hanging out in the chat as well, as always. Just wanted to give a little hat tip to him there. You needed, man, DeAndre Swift really came to life in that one. You needed that double Atlanta pairing. And then as you kind of jokingly said at the beginning of the show there, it was like whoever that last wide receiver was, it could have been Chris Moore. It could have been Luke McCaffrey. It could have been whomever.
Yeah. I had a lot of Luke McCaffrey. That was an interesting one. That slate. Shout out to Andre Swift, man. Just staying alive and
man.
well.
Yeah, some potential schematic changes that led to that. I was listening to smarter football people than I that were talking about that. But yeah, let's move into the slate, dude. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about Patriots and Titans here. Titans fire their head coach. Titans snuck out with that win against Arizona and then go back to looking hapless and lifeless. Calvin Ridley suffers a hamstring there. The backfield looks every bit of a split right now. Offensive line play looks pretty tragic for the Titans. Cam Ward has had 3 passing touchdowns, I believe, on the entirety of the season. Yeah, man, this is going to be a tough run matchup for them. Is there any reason to have any hope to leave the light on here for anything on the Titans side?
No.
Okay. That's pretty easy.
No, there's just no need. There's just really no need at all. Now, the Patriots are like way, way, way more vulnerable in the air than they are on the ground, but like no, nothing for me that I'm going to get cute with on this one for sure. Ridley would be the only thing, but no.
Yeah, we'll have to watch the practice reports there. He was hamstring and he was out early in that one because I did play a little bit of Ridley last week as like a bring back spot that I didn't think was terrible. And he was gone after like the first quarter or something like that. So definitely going to be one to monitor this week because it was a recurring injury of what he had the Q tag the previous week with the whole time.
Yep. Yeah, that's a good point. He's definitely trending doubtful, which, all right, cool. DK or Iron Manor? I don't think so. So. Not for your boy, at least.
Right. Yeah. There's really polarizing reports on Cam Ward right now too, like the stats guys versus the film guys who think he's good or might be good, or other people think he's terrible, like worst rookie quarterback ever. I don't know, man. There's weird stuff going on right now with that setup, but yeah, that's neither here nor there. Don't think it's even playable in dog bowls unless you want to get crazy with it, but I won't this week. 42 by way of the Unabated total here, and then 7 by way of the Patriots. I think people are going to be excited to play Drake May, man. All these stats in all the land are going around the internet saying how good and how efficient and how effective he has been as a passer this year. Plus, he gives you some rushing upside. Plus, you get a slight discount on his price tag in the 6 persons right now as he's going as QB5 right now. So, yeah, I mean, we saw the emergence of the Keyshawn Moody stuff. We saw Diggs kind of come back down to life in a non-revenge game matchup. Hunter Henry's always going to be in play because it's, tight end position. The backfield, man, I mean, they just continue to trust Ramondre despite the fumble situation. Is there any way we can, he still gets 13 touches. He does absolutely nothing with them. I don't know, but Hendo hasn't really shown that juice either. So just talk me through how you're going to treat this one in the 6s and the 12s.
Yeah, it just doesn't, like, obviously you get a 7-point team here, 7-point favorite, and you want to think about the running backs, right? Game script and scoring opportunities, but man, this is without question, and it's hardly close. This is the worst rushing attack in football right now.
Right.
Both nothing doing from a rushing attack side. So I just I'm not going to worry about it because the Titans are also not giving up a lot on the ground either. Like they get attacked, they get run on a lot because obviously negative game script, but they're not seeding a lot of efficient runs. So to me, it's just a pretty easy stay away spot for Ramondre and Hendo. I don't even want to do it in dog bowls. If I have to do it, I feel terrible.
Yeah. Shout out to the ball knowers, man, last week who were really hyping up Jeffrey Simmons. And then we saw Jeffrey Simmons do a really good job on basically anything that was an inside run against Ashton Genty last week. Like he is low key getting like a reputation that matches Vita Vey kind of thing. A little more dynamic and a little more less only run stop than like Vita is, and he's out there for like more snaps and stuff. But like, man, shout out the ball knowers who knew that one in a decent way there. Star Tour is saying that this is also the Vrabel return matchup week here, so like potentially running up the score here could be a narrative here. The Vrabel wants to put it on them kind of narrative.
Yeah, I suppose, but like just because Vrabel wants it doesn't mean that Ramondre is going to become an efficient runner. I mean, he's terrible, man.
Yeah,
he is. There's really just no other way to say it.
Any preferred pass catcher for you here? Like, are people going to chase the booty stuff? Like the utilization report stuff, we talked about it with Diggs last week, how it was like, it was truly a bet on the fact that some of that volume would carry over and that the increased snaps would continue to increase. He still looks the best by way of the utilization score, but man, it's still only 65% of routes. It is, Pop Douglas had the big touchdown to start that game off. It is really flat. Is this kind of turning into Bills light, where it's like, hey man, you just play the quarterback and you just hope he encapsulates the fantasy points?
I mean, in 12 persons, Diggs is still going really late.
Okay.
So I like Diggs still.
Okay.
He had 71% of routes last week. I just think it was pretty unfortunate that he had some awesome plays called back on some bullshit calls as well. So like that stuff doesn't show up in the box score. But yeah, I'm still playing Diggs, man. Diggs looks good. Not a concerning spot against Tennessee. Yeah, I think May, naked May is probably the move in 6-mans, but Diggs is going to be really low owned in those. So,
okay. Nez, I was messing around with some of those EPA charts that you're always mixing and matching with. I didn't take any of the fourth quarter stuff out like that you do, or the fourth down stuff rather there, but I was just noting like the EPA per drop back for Drake May. Like, look at this thing way down here, and they're crazy inefficient with the run game, and this sets up so much better to be a pass game, and they're so good from a drop back perspective.
Yeah, from the drop back perspective, they're one of the best in football. I mean, right. Yeah, Drake May is like truly elite. So, they might just want to lean into it and get some help in Jacoby, but I think there's going to be a little bit of a bidding war on Jacoby. And I mean, the fact that Olave has been rumored by Pretty Ricky as well is crazy. So yeah, the trade markets could be nuts because there's definitely some takers.
Olave would be fun with them, man. Holy,
that'd be nuts.
Wow. All right, Nez, let's keep pushing here. We got Saints and Bears there. We had the big Swift explosion game there. People were talking about the outside zone run scheme. I think it was Norris who I heard on Stats First Film. I was listening to a bit on the way to the rink last night, and I believe he said the good UBC kid on the outside there was providing some great blocking room. Good Canadian kid there. Can't remember his name. But I just got to give some love to the UBC offensive linemen out here grinding away. But Swift working more on the outside there. Saints, they showed a little bit of life. They showed a little bit of fight in that game. It's going to be really hard to determine who's going to be the touchdown scorer on any given week. But Rattler's shown enough that he can keep the offense kind of afloat. And they play fast enough that this could be kind of like fun back and forth, especially if they're pushed into trailing script. The problem is, Taysom rips touchdown opportunities at the goal line. They have Juwan Johnson they can throw to. They sometimes run with Kamara. They sometimes run with Henry Miller. Like there's just, it's so spread out where the ball can go at any time. The only thing I really feel comfortable with is Olave's volume, but that hasn't really materialized into fantasy points or touchdown scoring yet. So let's talk Saints side first. How are you treating it in the 6s and 12s? Because basically no Saints are going in the 6s right now.
I take Olave a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna play Olave until it hits.
Okay.
He's so elite, dude. He's so elite.
ADP of 34.2. Yeah, I mean he's a big part of my best ball portfolio right now. That you remember us doing those drafts and keep joking on the right hand side. Is John just going to click Olave again? Like, can we just not click Olave this time?
I know, and I mean, like, not that like it's like helped or hurt you too much right now,
Right.
but
Yeah.
dude, this is like my favorite game. This is such an awesome game here.
Okay. Cool.
I wish it was in New Orleans, but the weather doesn't. I haven't checked the weather in Chicago, but it's not like dead of winter yet, so we'll have to pay attention to that. But yeah, this game is just like awesome from the Saints side. I'm just going to be playing Olave. That's really it. No Kamara, no Kendre, no Rattler. Shaheed, I think, is a little thin for 6-mans. I think he's totally fine in 12s. And then Taysom is, I think, fine in 12s. No thank you in 6s.
Yeah, you're really just banking on touchdown. And even when he gets a touchdown last week, it doesn't end up mattering because he only plays like 10 or 12 snaps after that. And it's like, it's so transparent what they're going to do when Taysom comes in the ball game, right?
Yeah.
There's nothing creative about it. Then the stuff that we were playing Taysom back in the day was like, at least it looked creative.
Exactly.
Let me check. I'll look up the weather right quick for you just to confirm because Soldier Field is one of those fields. Just now that we're pushing into this point in the calendar, guys, Soldier Field is one spot that we do worry about wind and we do worry about footing because the field is renowned to be dog shit. And the grass is just bad. Doesn't look like anything. While the heaviest of rain likely falls in the morning, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it's a yellow by Roth standards. We'll keep an eye on it as it goes, but doesn't look like anything concerning just yet. Yeah, let's talk about the Bears side here. Are you buying the Swift breakout that we saw? Are we buying like a Luther Burden post bye week rookie bump there where, he basically put up the same stat line as DJ Moore did this week. But DJ Moore obviously wasn't 100% and then went to the hospital after the game. He has a Q tag here. Maybe there's a little push-pull on whether we want to do that. Rome had a whole bunch of stuff ripped off the board. He could have a way better box score than he wound up having there. He only scores like 50 or 5 fantasy points in that one, but he gets a touchdown ripped off the board, or 2 touchdowns ripped off the board. 1 big play and 1 touchdown, I believe, was what was ripped off the board. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Love it. I had a lot of Rome in those. I think DJ Moore is. We gotta monitor him, but all the word on the street is that what's up with DJ Moore is he had something with his balls.
Oh, really?
The word what the guessing is that he had like a testicular torsion issue is what they think. And they're just calling it a groin because they don't want to say, his nuts got messed up like on a press conference. So they just, let's just label it a groin. So that's why he's in the hospital, because that can be like, you can lose a nut if you can't resolve that. So that's why he was in the hospital. That's like, that's like the 2 + 2 = 4 on all that.
The true ball knower. Nez is a true ball knower.
Listen, man, you just got to follow the right accounts.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, because I heard stuff about like a lung or something like that, or a sickness, like an illness thing. That's what I
because they labeled it because he was in the hospital for his groin. So.
Wow. Okay, man. Yeah.
So yeah, we got to make sure we just need him to practice. That's it. They got to worry about like stabilization is what I'm being told. So, that's Jesus.
Okay, we got to change the topic. We're out on this one right now.
But I mean, not a whole lot from Luther Burden in the last game though. So like, I mean, but if we don't get DJ Moore, Luther Burden definitely becomes pretty exciting as an option here. I mean, like his snaps didn't increase like at all though.
Okay. Yeah, 47.5, 5 by way of the Bears there at home. Luther Burden more of a contingent play there. Olamide Zacchaeus all still played like 84% of routes there. Luther Burden still in that like low 20s area that he was before the bump. It was nice to see him get targeted on like 4 of the routes that he ran though, which was, an improvement. But yeah, we leave the light on in best ball, probably not playing it in dailies this week. Nets, let's push forward here unless anything else on Bears and Saints.
I mean, like Caleb, I think is an excellent play. I love the Bears here, man. I think this is like this game itself is just very awesome. If the weather holds up, I'm going to be all over this one.
Yeah, we did see the rushing touchdown from Caleb there, which is always encouraging. That's his second rushing touchdown on the season, I believe. There, he's Caleb's been solid, man. Like he just hasn't thrown interceptions, and he's kept the offense moving. And if one of those touchdowns goes to Rome, or one of those touchdowns that Swift runs in goes by way of the pass instead, you're looking at another 25 fantasy point box score there. And this is another plus matchup, and we're probably going to get. I don't know. What do you think? He's QB6 right now. This game might catch a little steam because of the total in it. And if it becomes more condensed with no DJ Moore, do you think, 48, 58% owned Caleb this week, or will it be higher than that?
I think it'll be like 80.
Okay. You think it'll be that high? Okay. So you think he'll steam a little bit more, and him and May will kind of push up a little bit this week, and they'll be in the 80s?
I think so. Yeah. It to me, it just doesn't make sense that Caleb's QB6.
Okay.
One of the best team totals, one of the best matchups. He's an awesome play.
Okay. Sounds good, dude. Yeah. I like where your head's at with this game in general. Let's talk about Fins up here versus the Browns. Browns, man, that game in London, I was up early enough to be drafting and just had it on out of the corner of my eye there. And no, thank you. That Dylan Gabriel did. You talked about how the Steelers defense is low key underrated right now because they're on a trajectory where they're kind of bouncing back right now. And yes, they were swarming the football, and there's a nice little highlight package of Dylan Gabriel throws that are in our Discord right now. And it was ugly out there, dude. For me on the Browns side in 6 persons, Judkins is going to get crazy steamed here, and he's going to be chalk on redacted, and people are going to want to jam it after they saw Rico go nuts against the Fins, after they've seen someone else just went nuts against them as well. Kamani Vidal went nuts against them last week too, so that's back-to-back weeks where they've been ran all over. People are going to want to jam Judkins. I don't know how you feel about it.
Yeah, Judkins is like such a smash.
Okay.
The total sucks, but the Judkins spot is just like incredible. The only thing that's like concerning, quote unquote concerning, is like Judkins' snap share kind of decreased last week against the Steelers compared to
52 attempts by Dylan Gabriel.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So that's going to lend itself to a lot more like Sampson mixing in or Ford mixing in. What did it end up being? Yeah, I can pull it up for you.
16% Sampson, 40% Ford, 40% Judkins.
Okay.
And snap rushing rush share of Judkins has gone from 95% to 81 to 74 to 71. Mm-hmm. Now, this is such a smash spot that like I don't know how we're not seeing 60% snaps for Judkins and 80% rush share. It just doesn't make sense that he isn't getting used in such an insane way. But the usage that looks nutted as hell definitely looks less so if you're looking at those last few games. However, yeah, this spot here, man, is just like I don't know how you really get away from it. I do think that I am a little less high on him than everybody else that I'm seeing in dog bowls, at least. But like in general, man, Judkins this week looks incredible. I think Dog App finally put him up in the pick'em lobby for his rush yards. I don't know if you want to take a gander or guess before I tell you.
I see it in the chat right now.
85.
That one's been spoiled by Eggers in the chat there. 85.5 as his rush yards in the chat.
And I mean, I find that to be fine. And what really surprised me is how the big of a difference it is between him and Saquon, though.
Okay, what? Tell me.
Saquon's at 69.
Wow. Never in my life would I have thought.
In 2025, yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Just to put some more numbers to it all there, if you jump over to the defensive EPA stuff, Fins all the way up on defense there at the bottom left here, Nez. Their rush EPA allowed per play, they're just getting gashed.
Yeah, they every single team is destroying them. It doesn't help that Rico Dowdle, put up a historic game against you, but that was happening because you were bad. He just running up the score on your bad EPA numbers.
Yeah. Well, I mean, 3 months ago we thought Kamani Valdal was a practice squad guy, right? And they told us he was, and they put him on the practice squad and that sort of thing. And then he comes out, and what he get off them last week, like 124 or something.
Yeah, he had a great game.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, it's kind of agnostic to who was out there. The as long as the quarterback play is competent enough to move the chains a little bit, the Judkins stuff kind of makes sense. I don't know, like Judkins right now on our site, dude, like ADP of 6. Javonte Williams bounce back spot potentially here. Like we just saw Swift run all over them. Like, would you rather play Javonte or Judkins?
Javonte.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. What about this Rico ADP? Well, it's a completely separate conversation because we don't know what the backfield split's going to look like, and people think Chuba's coming back this week, that sort of deal. So that's a really fragile ADP right now. So I would kind of move him behind. I know it's very encouraging what he did the last 2 games there. I think Underdog had a stat about first back-to-back 200 yards from scrimmage by a running back games in back-to-back weeks since Dalvin Cook like 4 or 5 years ago. Like it's been a while since we saw a performance to that magnitude. But yeah, I don't know what they're going to do, man. I honestly don't know what they're going to do if we get 3 full practices or we get a limited and 2 full practices from Chuba this week. I have no idea what they're going to do, and that ADP could age so poorly.
Yeah, I have no idea what to do about that.
Yeah, tough spot. Dude, Finn's up, really concentrated right now. Browns continue to be one of the best rush defenses, especially up the middle. HN does a lot of stuff in the pass catching game and moves to the outside a lot. If you had to 1v1 that kind of like tier of like HN, Barkley, Jacobs, that sort of stuff, like this is by far the toughest matchup, I think, of like that. Maybe not, but I would say it's the toughest matchup of the top 5 running backs on the slate right now. How does that factor into your evaluation of HN? Like, is he a top 3 pick for you this week?
I think so.
Okay.
But we could be talking about in 6-mans, like pushing up Rashi to pick 3, pushing up CeeDee Lamb to pick 3.
Okay.
Like, I'm very, very, very close to putting a wide receiver at pick 3 and 4 over HN and Barkley and Judkins. I do really worry big time about Cleveland, man. Cleveland is a very tough customer defensively. They're favored here. Your dogs to the Cleveland Browns?
Right.
Really?
Right. Yeah.
Come on, bro. That's not good. That is not good. But he'll get a ton of receiving work regardless. I mean, he didn't need receiving work to get home last week, but like, I mean, we hadn't seen Achane break off a run like that against the Chargers in like years, and then he does it, and he has a monster game there. I think people are chasing that big time, man. I don't think I like Achane at pick 3.
Okay.
Obviously, I love him as a player.
Yeah,
but pick 3, I think is rich. I think it's rich.
Yeah, I think Chad's onto something here. It's such a tier break after the Jacobs. Like there is a clearly defined like top 2, and I think that's how projections are going to have it when they come out this evening and that sort of thing. So I do think it is like a very interesting combination with that next like brick of 5 running backs.
Mm-hmm.
Nez, let's push on here. Anything else on the Finn side? We see the Waller stuff. I actually thought, the box score wasn't as good for Waller, but the usage and stuff was better, and it's more encouraging. So I'm kind of like in on playing Waller this week when everybody else looks like, oh, Waller took a step back, because I think Waller took a step forward, and now he's tight end 9. So, he still finds pay dirt there in that one. He scored 4 touchdowns in 3 games, like Trey McGronk could never. So like, yeah, I don't know, man. Can we play Darren Waller as a scroll here? Can we play some Jalen Waddle and play this game through the air? It is a low total.
Yeah, I think Waddle is playable. And so is Waller. I thought Waller was getting drafted pretty frequently, but maybe I'm
I did
wrong.
9.
Okay.
Yeah, in the 6s. Yeah, in the 12s, he is tight end 10 in the 12s. So a little leeway in both.
Yeah, his routes have gone up, they were up to 78% last week. Yeah, he's totally viable.
Yeah, like I think they clearly really like him, and they're clearly needed that red zone threat alongside, like, Waddle's not your prototypical like X wide receiver style thing in
Hmm.
that area.
Yeah, he's been
Um,
he's been effective, but yeah, just ugly game, ugly spot.
yeah, Browns tight ends.
Yeah, that's a good shout. Fannin, I think, could be super, super viable this week if we don't get Njoku. I don't think Njoku is practicing today. Fannin's already kind of creeping up there. He's tight end 7 right now. Yeah,
Okay.
if we don't get Njoku, Fannin makes a ton of sense. So good shout there.
Would you ever consider the contrarian angle of skinny stack Dylan Gabriel in the 12 mans?
No, dude.
Yeah, just too bad.
Yes.
Okay.
No
Yeah.
way.
Yeah, just pick a pass catcher. Like the Judy stuff, like from a usage standpoint, like looked like mini Olave kind of, but it was all on the back of the fact that they threw 52 times, right? Like we're probably not projecting them to throw 52 times as home favorites here with conceivably some bad weather.
I mean, I would love to know the last time a quarterback dropped back 52 times and had less than 10 fantasy points. I'm dying to know who was the last.
It was probably Joe Flacco the week before.
I don't even think he dropped back 52 times.
No, yeah. Jake Browning, does Jake Browning have like a 3 interception, 52 drop back game?
I don't even think he's like 52 is insane.
Yeah, it's crazy. Judy's the worst player alive, I fear. Oh man, yes, we feared that in basketball season for sure. Let's keep moving. We got Panthers and Jets. Man, Jets had an absolute clunker. Man, what a bad fucking football game with the Jets there. The Jets throw for, what was it, 15 total yards or something like that. It was just crazy, man. Yeah, Garrett Wilson gets hurt in this one. He's going to be out this week. I don't know. Maybe Mason Taylor has a scroll. You've been a proponent of the Panthers defense being better than they get credit for. They've been pretty decent against the run in general, which doesn't get me super excited to jump up and down and play Brees. You take away a Justin Fields weapon, and I don't know, maybe he runs more, and maybe we try and play that angle, but it was egregious last week. Yeah, minus 10 yards.
Well, that's
there.
net when you
Net.
include sacks.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. Thoughts on the Jets side in this 41.5 with 1 point to the Panthers?
I mean, I don't understand what the market is doing with this game. The Panthers should be like 4.5-point favorites here. And I mean,
Right.
that's like, I would still probably take the Panthers. I
Like
cannot
it.
believe that this is just a pick 'em right now. I do not buy this at all. With how bad the Jets looked last week. Now you take out Garrett Wilson.
Yeah.
Like, dude, what? How are the Jets putting up 21 points in this game? If this game hits the over and it's a 1-point game, how are the Jets putting up 21 points? How are they scoring 3 touchdowns? Get out of here, man.
Yeah.
No, I refuse to believe. I'm not buying the Fields buyback jump, like the Fields spot here, bounce back spot. What I was trying to say there, not happening for me. I'm not buying it. I don't even like Brees Hall here, man. Like Brees Hall is the only thing that they have offensively. I don't like it. I think the floor, I think the ceiling is so low. I'm not playing any Jets here. I can't wait to not draft a single Jet this week.
Jumping up and down to not draft one. I love that. Yeah, I mean, Brees last week versus in that Denver game, 13-11 final. Wow, awesome stuff. That was the London morning game, right?
Yeah, that was the overseas game.
Yeah. I misspoke earlier that it was the Browns overseas game, but that was the overseas game.
Yeah,
Am I
Browns
tripping?
played. Yeah, no, Browns played the Steelers on Sunday. They're on the main slate.
Yeah, main slate game. My bad. Yeah, Brees Hall 22 for 59. Isaiah Davis gets in there for a handful of snaps, and that was it. So it was Brees and all into himself in that backfield there. But yeah, man, Justin Fields with a whole lot of nothing there. 45 total passing yards, 7 carries for 31. I mean, put some more respect on that Broncos defense name there. But yeah, there's basically only 3 Jets you can play, and we're not jumping up and down to play any of them. Let's talk about the Panthers side, man. The debate is going to be what's going to happen in this backfield. Rico looks like a fine pick right now if Chuba wasn't playing, but I think we're kind of in the thought process that Chuba's trending towards coming back this week. Everything that I've read, obviously monitor the practice reports because that will greatly impact the ADP of where Rico's going right now. We could also see JT Sanders and Jalen Coker return, who were both kind of, on trajectory to return last week and then didn't. So that might spread this offense out in a big way. Nice to see Tetaroa find Pater twice, but the volume wasn't there, and the volume was there in the previous weeks. So just interesting that now the touchdowns come, but the volume didn't come. So yeah, how we playing this Panthers one? Do you want pieces of this? You think they should be bigger favorites than that? I mean, Panthers are sneaky 3-3 right now, right? Like that they're they're a viable contending team right now. They're like, if we put up the Fox graphic, they're slightly better than in the hunt right now for the postseason graphics. So yeah, just thoughts on how you're going to play this one. Any love for some of those Q tags returning? Are you scared about the Rico stuff? How you play in the backfield?
Yeah, I'm not thrilled about Chuba coming back.
Yeah.
I think Rico, 100% drafted Rico, I think is not a good play. But when you're dealing with a Jets team that I think is terrible, and Rico coming off these games that he's had, and I mean, granted, Rico had the craziest run out ever for a player where like your starting running back gets hurt and then you are lined up to face the softest run defenses in football in back-to-back weeks is just like a dream. I'm sure Chuba was pretty pissed about that. Like that's like a hell of a way to lose your job.
Yeah, and one of them is also your revenge game of a team that didn't even want to give you this minuscule contract that another team gave you. They wanted to go with Javonte Williams instead of you, coming off of 2 down years and a knee injury.
Exactly. Like, so it's really tough, man. I don't know what they're going to do with this backfield. So to me, it makes it like really tough to play, but I don't think that you are an idiot for being like, yeah, I'm going to draft the guy that just had 200 yards in back-to-back weeks. Like that probably is fine, but I'm totally worried about drafting Rico Dowdle for sure. They're not telling us. They have no reason to tell us. And the Jets, man, are like not a bad rush defense. In fact, like they're pretty good. So it makes for really difficult decisions here. What I do really like though, man, is like I don't know that he's gonna have a good fantasy day, but like I think Bryce Young is going to cook the Jets, man.
Ooh, okay.
I think he's gonna cook. I need to find. I think Ian Hartitz had a tweet about like the Jets. Well, first off, the Jets, man, just got their first interception last week, so hats off to them. Why are the Jets so bad at causing turnovers, getting takeaways? Well, they are bottom in the NFL in pressure rate allowed. I just sent it to you in a tweet. Pressure rate on defense, them and the Panthers are the worst in football in terms of pressure rate. And they also allow a ton of pressure on defense is really what this is, just kind of a hilarious chart. Interesting trend that, teams that value the trenches get results on both sides of the ball there. But yeah, you see there on the left side, the y-axis there, the pressure rate on defense, Jets, one of the worst in football in generating pressure. And that's really been Bryce's big bugaboo, is like he gets thrown off his spot and then he makes poor decisions. Well, if you can't pressure him, like he can make really good throws. Okay. So
yeah,
I think that he's going to be able to have his way here. Now, what does that result to fantasy wise? Probably not a 6-man score, but like, there's some, Sauce Gardner, got to watch out for Tetaroa. Like, I think he's going to be fine.
Okay.
So, yeah, I and just another reason why I just think the Panthers win this game. It just like sets up beautifully for the Panthers to win on the road.
Nice. Okay, yeah. I like where you're at here, dude. QB 13 currently on our site right there. So, I mean, if you want to get to some scrolls there, I'm sure he's going more in the 12 persons than he is in the sixes, but
Very
maybe
infrequently still.
yeah, maybe wounding up with a 40 to 50% owned Bryce Young in the dog bowl this week.
I like him in dog bowls if you're punting QB, man.
Okay. Good shouts all around there, Nez Daniel. Let's push forward, dude. We got a 43 and a half, 2 points by way of the Eagles on the road. Here we get an indoor game with the Vikings. Vikings coming off of the bye there. Yeah, man, the Eagles got their bye next week. Okay, I just wanted to confirm. Yeah, but Vikings coming off of the international games, and then they go and who's going to play quarterback this week for them is basically the big talking point here, because JJ McCarthy might be good enough to come back from the ankle. Apparently, Carson Wentz suffered a little something too. Yeah, I don't know. I still have no idea when Aaron Jones is trending to come back there, but this could be just another Jordan Mason led backfield here. We did see some Cam Akers. I know it's a long time to remember, but Cam Akers threw for a touchdown there, or made some throwing plays. Do you remember that? That was maybe it wasn't a touchdown. Maybe it was just a fourth or third down in the red zone or something. But yeah, I don't know. They're up to their old tricks with utilizing Cam Akers yet again there. Yeah, I don't know. I put Justin Jefferson back on the cover just because I wanted to have the conversation about whether you think it's Wentz or McCarthy, because honest to God, man, I think Wentz has done like a really good job, but I don't think you can turn your back on what you thought the future was going to be just because the kid got hurt 2 games in. Now there's a lot of speculation whether he actually got hurt or whether he was playing through something. But yeah, just thoughts on the quarterback situation on the Vikings side first, and then how that impacts, Justin Jefferson and Addison and potentially like Jordan Mason.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think JJ was like all that bad. I think he kind of like, I'm kind of team JJ apologist a little bit here, where I think he had some really tough spots with a really banged up offensive line, and I think that kind of led him to look pretty poor on prime time. And we all got to see it and laugh at him. But this is a hell of a spot for the Vikings. I don't think Quinyon Mitchell is going to play this game. He left with a hamstring last week, and on both sides of the ball, Eagles just do not look good. And this to me sets up as like a smash spot for the Vikings, man. I really like the Vikings here, really on for Jordan Mason, for Justin Jefferson, and for scroll down Addison here quite a bit. So both the Jordans here, Mason and Addison, I think are awesome scrolls here. Like, we don't have obviously Aaron Jones until next week, if he can even return next week.
Yeah.
And just given now obviously like whether or not Jalen Carter plays is a big deal, but regardless, man, I just think the Eagles are in such a shit spot right now. And if they're missing Quinyon as well, like they're just going to be able to throw all over them no matter who is playing quarterback here. So really excited about the Vikings pass attack in this one.
And that's agnostic of the quarterback, Nez?
Yeah. There was just a quote from KOC on Carson Wentz availability. It's a video though, so I didn't get a chance to like listen to it, but he said something.
7 minutes ago, according to the RotoWire update on the Underdog site, KOC said both McCarthy ankle and Carson Wentz shoulder will participate in practice Wednesday, but declined to name a starter for Sunday's game.
Okay.
So they're both practicing today. We don't know who's going to start. Also, Wentz revenge game narrative.
Oh, yeah, that's a great shout.
Wow. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of in lockstep with you right now, man. Both the Jordans and even Hawkinson in the 12s look like good scrolls, regardless of what quarterback plays. And a lot of that is because Quinion Mitchell and Jalen Carter, presumably, I mean, got to watch the practice reports, but those are two massive pieces of that defense. Also, keep an eye out for the Vikings offensive line. That will impact Jordan Mason in a big way too, because they lost, some pieces. Then Darrisaw came back. Then Darrisaw got hurt. Then other guys got hurt on the offensive line, and then he was the only healthy one. And yeah, it's just been a mess there. So smarter people than me know way more about offensive lines. And I'm just putting it on your guys' radar to do your own little research there, because that'll impact some of the rush efficiency stuff if we're trying to scroll to Jordan Mason this week.
For sure.
Eagles, man. Let's have the conversation. Super concentrated. There's only 5 dudes you can play on a week-to-week basis. 4 of them are basically free, and you could have them every single time if you want to play the pass game angle for them, or we could play the Saquon bounce back, still yet to eclipse 100 yards from scrimmage in a game there. Yeah, man, it's a bit bleak right now here, but any hope to return to form here? Or is it just kind of like naked Jalen Hurts is the play if you're going to play Eagles stuff?
Yeah, man. I still think naked Jalen Hurts is probably the move.
Okay.
At least that's what I like. I'm trying to think about a way where like that's not the case. Like how have things fundamentally changed for the Eagles? Maybe that like, oh, you actually do want to stack Jalen Hurts now? I'm not entirely sure, man. It's still the tush push. That still benefits Jalen Hurts and Jalen Hurts only. Vikings are so strong against the pass this year too that like I don't know how that makes this spot any better for AJ Brown or Devontae Smith.
Okay. Yeah, I mean they used the tush push 4 times in a row inside of the 4 there, a 4th down and then 3 straight after to score a touchdown, and it's just like, man, Saquon didn't even get a look. Like nobody else gets a look. They go, hey man, we're 3 yards out. We could just do the tush push 3 times and score a touchdown here. Like it's
awful football. Yeah. And then they do the cutesy shit to Dallas Goedert. Yeah.
Yeah. The underhand flip throw or whatever.
Yeah, it's so stupid.
Yeah, it's tough right now. I guess it was a little encouraging to see that, like, hey man, they are concentrated with like the amount of routes that both Devonta Smith and AJ Brown are running right now. And it was encouraging to see AJ Brown put up a decent box score with 9 targets, 8 catches, like that sort of thing. But yeah, it's just, man, we need some touchdowns on this offense from anyone not named Jalen Hurts or Dallas Goedert.
Yep, and does not look like we're getting it. Yeah. But I do like Saquon though. I do like Saquon. He's due. I mean, I just the offensive line is playing very poorly for the Eagles, but one of these days, man, Saquon's gonna revert back to what we saw last year, and he's gonna break off a big run, and he's gonna have multiple touchdowns. It's gonna happen at some point. But there's also the narrative that Saquon Barkley doesn't care about football anymore because he is a trillionaire. So.
Well, I haven't heard this.
Saquon Barkley is probably the best investor in all of sports. Like you could expand that criteria to investor in startups and just period. He has made a boatload in investments. So shout out to Saquon Barkley for being absurdly rich. Like football is just like a hobby for him. Like he makes so much more money and making sick investments.
Wow, what a beauty. I had no idea. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah, so he just doesn't care anymore.
Oh, well, I'm not sure that's true, but I
don't know.
Yeah, I like the narrative.
How come why isn't he making more noise about the team being ass? He's like, yeah, it sucks for you guys. Like I'm rich. Sucks for you, AJ Brown. You have a legacy to preserve, but like I'm chilling, man. I just made $1 billion on a sale.
That's fucking crazy. Yeah, I think this is an interesting narrative. I did take AJ Brown in one draft this morning, kind of with this in mind that like, hey, if we do think they get pushed and there are the injuries on defense and that sort of thing, like just push back and forth here a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can never say no to AJ Brown scroll. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
he's still probably really good.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, stay calm, Barkley. I did finally see that commercial up in the Great White North here, where we don't get the American commercials unless I'm watching the American networks, and I did actually think that was a pretty funny commercial. The stay calm, Barkley stuff. Nez, let's move on here. Divisional matchup: the Raiders and the Kansas City Chiefs. Here, Chiefs as 11.5-point favorites. Mahomes looking excellent. He's been forced to run a bit, and he is making good on fantasy box scores in a way in which we haven't seen in 3 years' time. It's not really funneling through a ton of his teammates necessarily. Like some of them are getting home, like Hollywood Brown got home on the primetime slate there. Xavier Worthy scores a touchdown, but didn't have like massive outputs there. But a 45.5 here with Rashee Rice coming back. I think people are going to be really excited and really frothy to just be like, let's jam the shit out of Mahomes and Rice combinations over and over. And I think like just the way in which they've played, now the narrative and all the talk this week that like the stone cold chalk is going to be people trying to like overdraft Mahomes and overdraft him in tandem with Rice in particular this week, opposed to the other pass catchers, which means the other pass catchers with Mahomes will go kind of underrepresented, or naked Mahomes will kind of go underrepresented. That's just my pulse on what's going on here. Other side is Geno with the lowest ADOT of his career, continues to throw a shit ton of interceptions. Genty, we talked about all the usage last week, kind of made good on it, but there were too many outlier scores on the running backs on the slate last week for him to matter with that 15, 18, whatever he put up there. Can we go back to it this week? Can we play some of the auxiliary Raiders as bring back stuff? Are you hammering Chiefs this week?
Yeah. Chiefs are like insane, man. They're at home against the division rival with Rashee Rice back. This is like a new era of Chiefs football too, where like Mahomes is so back, and the passing attack for the Chiefs is so back. Like, but this is the offense that we have been waiting years to see with Hollywood, Xavier Worthy, Rashee Rice, Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes throwing the football. It's going to be crazy. They like, why would they hold back on a division rival with Rashee Rice like return game here? They're going to go crazy on the Raiders. And I think if you want to play naked Mahomes, you're better off just like playing him with Kelce, because Kelsey's cheap enough. And if you don't think it's going to be Mahomes and Rashee or Worthy, then you should probably take Kelce. But to note, like, Worthy is crazy cheap. I don't know why he's being shadow realmed right now by the field. I think that's nuts. Travioli beat me to the punch here. Pacheco, I think, is a great scroll in this spot. Now, two things with Pacheco. The bad news first is like he's still not getting inside the 5 attempts.
Yeah.
What I would consider great news, though, is Pacheco's usage is like ramping up strongly week over week. If you look at his like rush attempts, percentage of rush attempts, it's gone up to 60%, his season high last week. The snap shares have continued to increase. Season high last week of snap shares at 77%. He's running routes, 76% of routes, all season highs for Pacheco. And I mean, when you are 12-point favorites at home, you're probably going to touch the rock in good spots. Sure. So, like, I don't think he's a terrible scroll option considering running back falls off a cliff after round 3.
Yeah, man, I like what you guys are saying there. I will note that last week red zone opportunities were 4-2 in Pacheco's favorite. So that situation, which we've been concerned about, they still like Kareem Hunt in and around the goal line. They still like him in the pass catching role. I'll also say Brashard Smith picked up an injury in that ball game as well. So monitor his status on the Q tag. That's not a complete nothing burger because, he was finding 2-3 catches a week. I think it was 2 straight weeks of 3 catches and 20 plus yards via the air there. So it's not a complete nothing burger if Brashard Smith misses this week as well. Another feather in the cap for the Pacheco scroll. Good shouts there. Raiders side, Nez, can we go back to anything here? It has looked outside of Genty, it's looked rather inept. Bowers is going to have the Q tag yet again here, which means Mayer's going to get drafted in front of him. If I'm drafting right now and you want to play this angle, I'd be drafting Brock Bowers and then swapping, opposed to doing it the opposite way. Because if you take Michael Mayer right now, it's just a flat 0. I mean, maybe not, but it's more of a contingent play. So why not just take Bowers? I don't think Bowers plays this week. I don't think I necessarily want him in general. I don't think I'm going to play either of them. But my point being, just take the Q tag and then swap until it's definitively known that he's out. Yeah, I don't know. Jacoby Myers, do you want to go back to that well again with the usage stuff? Trey Tucker looks every bit of, their WR2 or 1B there now. If you want to play that, Beck kind of overtook Deontay this week. Any thoughts on Raiders?
Yeah, I don't want any of them.
Okay.
Genty at cost is a stay away. Yeah, I don't want any of them. We're like really close to seeing Geno Smith get benched.
Okay. Yeah. What do you think they would do? They do the Kenny Pickett thing?
I suppose. I think that's like the next viable option, right? I think that's what they described him as QB2. Yeah. It's all bad in Vegas.
I think Aiden O'Connell's on IR right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm like 93% certain of that.
Yeah, I mean, it really doesn't matter what they do. They're screwed, man. They suck.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, 1A for Trey Tucker. I mean, Trey Tucker's not the worst scroll in the world to push this game environment, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're gonna have to throw. They could get there in garbage time, but like I would be so shocked if you need a Las Vegas pass catcher in 6-mans. Like,
yes, agreed with you. Yes,
for the games we're playing, like they're just so not viable.
Yeah, the 6-mans is definitely what it is. Geno Smith ADOT in 6 games, 7.8 yards per attempt, 7.3.
6.8, and then what?
7.8, 7.3 yards per attempt. Yeah. Not great, Bob.
Nope.
I mean, you compare that to, even Jalen Hurts, 8.3 on the ADOT. Like just a little bit deeper downfield. Shit, Mariota even had a 10.2 in his 2 starts. I don't know. Yeah, say what you will about ADOT for quarterbacks because it's more of a receiver-based stat, but just interesting in general. Let's keep pushing here. We saw the return of Denver's defense there in a big way against the Jets, holding them to only 11 points, 45 passing yards, or that net -10 if you do the whole rushing whatever that everyone was doing on the internet. This is 40 total and 7 by way of the Broncos at home. Yeah, any interest in playing like this, the Sutton connection here with Nix? Funny that people thought Nix was closer to Drake May at the start of the season, and he has played way closer to the bottom end of the spectrum. Opposed to that, we could get excited about Scata Boys and Jackson Dart just because of the rushing upside, but this is not a good spot for it. Broncos defense looks legit right now.
Yeah, I don't like this game. I'm not super excited about Dobbins or Harvey here for the backfield in the Broncos, which I think is the best way to beat the Giants, even though Barkley didn't do shit. Yeah, I worry about the Broncos pass attack here. I mean, the total's so low. This game just projects to be super ugly. So I'm not playing Sutton here. Not playing Nix. Nobody for really either side here. 12 persons though, like maybe if Sutton falls, I'll take Sutton. If Dobbins falls, I'll take Dobbins. Dart if I need a QB in the 6th round. Scataboo if he falls. That's really it. I just don't think this game has your winner on it, considering there's so many better fantasy environments on the slate. I just don't know how anybody comes out of this game as being who you need.
If you had to pinpoint one potential way you win with this game, what would it be?
I think it would be 2 touchdowns from J.K. Dobbins and 100 yards.
So scrolling at the running back position to take advantage of that matchup, 35.2 ADP right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would be the most viable way, I think.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, Sutton, we always make the joke, 50, 60, and 1 every single time. So if you get a low-scoring slate, he might matter. But his ADP is pretty frothy because, there's not a whole lot of depth at the wide receiver position on this slate comparative to, we think, running back looks pretty deep to me. Quarterback looks pretty deep. Tight end looks really deep to me. And then wide receiver is kind of like the murkiest of the grouping there, which is leading Cortland Sutton to be like a pretty high ADP just given this spot. I could see like a 2-touchdown Sutton game for sure. But yeah, I mean, just with that ADP, knowing he's going to be almost 100% drafted doesn't feel great to me. And, playing any auxiliary Denver piece just feels so effing thin. Like, yeah, sure, Franklin or Mims could find their way to 15 fantasy points. But yeah, any concern that, we didn't really see it in the first one there, but like Tracy, Tyrone Tracy having like a little bit more of an expanded role in his second time out, or you just think, the Giants and in particular Jackson Dart love Scatterboys so much that the Scatterboo is going to do his thing this week?
No, I think it's pretty much over for Tracy. It's definitely Scatterboo's backfield, but does it make it a good spot here? No, but yeah.
He's so fun. He's a dog, but it just doesn't set up for a good matchup for him. I'd rather take some swings on Jordan Mason, I think, at their relative price points here.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think when comparatively, it just there's better picks for sure.
Yeah,
in better game environments.
Like J. Cam said, Pete Carroll's narrative is he wants to see Genty get 20 plus catches a week. You can have Genty 5 spots later than Scatterboo right now.
Can you?
Yeah.
Ooh, man.
Scatterboo is running back 10 with a 26.2 ADP. Genty is 29. So 3 spots different. Genty behind Scatterboo right now.
Yeah, that is flipped. And dog bowls are so funny, man. Genty's ADP 12 in dog bowl.
Wow, what a difference! What a difference!
Yeah, I don't like him. I don't like him there either. But
yeah, sure, yeah. Let's talk about this Chargers and Colts one. 48.5 here, second biggest on the slate. 1.5 by way of the Chargers here. We saw the Kamani Vidal coming out party here in a decent way. He's running back 15 on our slate right now. He had 21 fantasy points, 124 yards in that first one there. We saw a game without QJ, and it led to a nice Ladd box score. I thought Ladd played pretty well. Watched a chunk of that game. He gets 9 targets, 100 yards, and a touchdown back-to-back weeks for a Ladd touchdown. Kind of the Ladd that we grew accustomed to seeing. But keep your eyes on the practice report with QJ here, because that could flip in the blink of an eye, especially those deeper A-dot downfield stuff when QJ returns. So, yeah, thoughts on the Chargers side first?
Yeah, Colts they've been, I think, overperforming defensively.
Okay.
So I really like the Chargers' ability here to kind of make this a shootout.
Okay.
This should be a pretty fun game. Especially because of how concentrated the Chargers look to be. Gotta keep an eye out for QJ and what will happen there. But Ladd looks to be an awesome pick, almost like no matter what. So yeah, I'm really into both sides of this game. Really like Ladd. Herbert, I still don't think that I don't think I'm going to stack Herbert or stack Ladd. But Ladd, Vidal, like clearly being the RB1 in on this team is a huge deal. And then kind of sneaky, I don't think I have the guts, but like Aronde Gadsden.
Oh, that is sneaky. That's cheeky, dude.
I mean, what isn't sneaky is that this dude took over the tight end room. I mean, dominated everything. 77% of routes, 27% target per route run, 21% of air yards, a utilization score of 88.
Wow, that's very strong.
I mean, to compare it to raw numbers, man, 30
Yep.
routes for Gadsden, 8 routes for Disley, 7 for Tucker Fisk, 2 targets for Disley, 8 targets for Gadsden. I mean, we know the hype around Gadsden. Like they've been talking about him like this guy's like Jerry Rice. And now we're seeing it. And if QJ doesn't play again, I mean, maybe it was a QJ effect, but like
I'm going to say, let me put my ball knower's hat on for a second here. And I don't know if I'm right on this, but let me just think about this. They utilize more 2 tight end sets with QJ being gone instead of trying to find like Trey Harris being the QJ replacement that isolated week, which thrust Gadsden into more of receiving duties because they had the more 12 personnel stuff. And then they needed help on the offensive line because of all the injuries they've had there. So they used Disley, Fisk, Conklin inline blocking with that. And those 3 tight ends kind of shared a role. And then Gadsden played tight end, but he was actually the 3rd wide receiver this week.
Well, I mean, I would disavow that because Trey Harris ran 85% of routes. So he was the 3rd wide receiver.
All right. So they didn't do that. Okay. All right. That was my bro science hand in the dirt that I led with. I'm not sure if this is right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, Gadsden's role is real.
Okay. Love it. Yeah, there's also keep an eye on the Colts secondary injury report. They've been pretty banged up. They had the what's his name retire earlier in the year. I can't remember his name now. Anyways, who cares? But yeah,
Xavier Howard.
Yes, I think right. Yeah, I think they've just been pretty thin in general. So keep your eyes on that. Colts, man, what more can you say about the Jonathan Taylor role? He's a smash every damn week. We talked about Daniel Jones running and how that could impact him and that sort of thing. He hasn't really run. He's had a couple chances at the goal line and their version of tush pushy kind of things that took away from Jonathan Taylor early in the season. But in general, man, Danny Dimes, it hasn't been the Danny Dimes show. He's been distributing, man. Like he still finds one on the ground last time out, but yeah, man, like this Jonathan Taylor role is insane. And he's rightfully so the RB1 on the majority of the slates we play here. The Warren stuff, you were all over that. That's incredible. If you want to do Danny Dimes as a scroll the F down and play some skinny stacks, Josh Downs came back to life after I dunked on all my Pittman stuff there. He had 7 targets. Pittman could see the inverse and see the stuff come back his way. I don't know if that was a matchup-based thing versus Arizona, that they just liked the down stuff better. But yeah, those are probably 12-person scrolls and stacks. I think for the most part in the 6 persons, you're going to either be playing JT, you're either going to be playing Warren, or you're going to be playing as scroll naked Daniel Jones.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not sure in what instance is Downs more favorable, because I mean, at the end of the day, like Downs' routes are kind of a problem, and you need some kind of run back, I think, on Josh Downs. It doesn't necessarily have to be like Vidal, where like, oh, they're up and it's Vidal and he's, getting the work. It could just be really any Charger where the Chargers are scoring points, period. And thus Downs is running more routes because he's obviously wide receiver 3 here. Pierce came back off a concussion and immediately ran like 88% of routes. So you do need some scoring here in one way or another, but Pittman should bounce back just fine.
Okay. Yeah, no, respected, dude. Yeah, good takes all around there. I do think this is a fun game to get to, and I do think there's like a lot of ambiguity around what some of the roles will be, that like people aren't going to play it outside of just playing, JT, or just playing Warren, like stuff like that. So you can find some leverage by being like the skinny stack, Herbert to QJ guy, the skinny stack Herbert to Ladd guy. You could be the contrarian Vidal guy in the 6-mans and be like, that rule is real and he's RB1 now. Like, I think there's contrarian paths here in this game. Pushing into the next game, Nez, I don't think there's many contrarian paths here. because this is a 55 total here. Everyone wants to get excited about the Cowboys' concentration in the pass game. Everybody wants to get excited about George Pickens and potentially CeeDee Lamb returning here. People want to get excited to play every angle of Dallas and the Commanders here. Commanders road favorites of 1.5. Keep an eye on the injury report for the Commanders stuff for their wide receiver room in particular. We know we got that Terry Q tag, and they're saying he'll practice this week, but we're not sure. Debo played through the Q tag and was active for week 6, but did not do very much there, but he still has a high ADP. People love this game, man, and people are aping every angle of this game. Is it good chalk? What is your approach, Nez?
I mean, I think that a total of 55.5 is just ridiculous. I mean, that's ridiculous, man. Really? How does this not get to like 52 by Sunday? This is redonkulous. I have no idea what we're doing here with like is this game going to be a shootout? Of course. Sure.
Yeah.
But like 55? Holy shit, man. I don't know. But, I guess that's what happens when you have Jaden Daniels at quarterback against the worst defense in football, and you have Dak, who is just like playing incredible, and they're in a dome. So I get why it's the highest scoring total in the game, but 55 is crazy. It sounds like CeeDee's playing. Like
okay.
they're not being coy about this shit at all. They said if he's breathing, he's playing.
I was about to say that was a hilarious quote. It was like, he's going to practice today. And it was like, what do you need to see for him to play on Sunday? And he's like, that he's breathing.
I totally respect the Cowboys like saying like F you to gamesmanship. Like, guess what? Like CeeDee's playing and he's going to get the fucking ball. So honestly, I'm worried about Pickens ADP. The total is so high that like maybe it won't matter. But here's a fact. When projections drop, Pickens is going to be like below Chris Olave.
Okay. Yeah, man. I agree with you. I agree with you.
You can't get there with CeeDee in. You can't.
Let's have this conversation. Is CeeDee Lamb wide receiver 1 on the slate?
And by what definition?
He's gonna score the most fantasy points, bitch. What
by results or like? I mean, we have a lot of different angles of discussion.
Let's do like draftable. Like you want to push the Q tag right now. You want to create some GMs. But if you just had to build rankings right now, and I was like, I want to go Jonathan Taylor, I want to go Josh Jacobs, and then I want to go CeeDee Lamb. Am I crazy?
Kinda, but yeah, he's like wide receiver 1 or 2.
Yeah,
that's it. He's either 1 or he's 2.
Okay. Yeah.
I think he's wide receiver. I don't know, man. I got him at pick 17 earlier.
Right. The gamesmanship of the rooms right now is to push it and hope you're in a room with a bunch of dunce caps and you get 2 good picks that you're not going to be able to pair with him later in the week. But if I wanted to go all JSN again, like I did last week with the 36, 37%, do you think I'm crazy?
No, I mean, no, you gotta jam them because you got to, because if you don't, hypothetically, if you max, right, if you're maxing and CeeDee Lamb is now a first round pick, and you're maxing and you got 100 drafts left and you're like, well, I'm not taking CeeDee, right. You're not gonna cash like 75% of those teams. Like you need him for the cash line.
Right.
Which is important for your sustainability. So it's a shit situation because we're gonna get that green active tag when there's 50% of drafts left, and that's just like that's an immediate projection boost for everybody. I don't care who you are or how level headed you are. The green active tag is unavoidable.
Yeah. If you are ETR this evening and you're projecting and you're putting out your projections this evening, what player is CeeDee Lamb in your projections?
I don't really know how to rank him amongst the running backs, but probably I'll say like player 7.
Yeah.
And I think that's actually low when that coming out of my mouth.
Yeah. I think he's player 3, dude. I think he's player 3.
He's going to be wide receiver 1.
There's no doc that, like, if they go no doc on it, they see that he got a full practice today. I think it's going to be Jonathan Taylor. It's going to be Josh Jacobs, and then it's going to be CeeDee Lamb. And I think you could put CeeDee Lamb over Josh Jacobs.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's how I would. John's Bro Science projection models, brought to you by the sushi, would be that.
I'm guessing what they're doing. It's this.
Yeah.
It's CeeDee Lamb and a 55-point total, dude.
Right. Indoors with Dak balling out of his mind.
Yeah,
if they
this
could
is
string
like
a couple wins together, Dak would be in the MVP conversation, you know?
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
can't believe.
Yeah.
He should be. I think he kind of is, but yeah, this is
Yeah.
one of the most obvious risers I've ever seen.
Yeah. So if you guys are playing tonight, drafting tonight, I mean, jam that second round CeeDee Lamb Q tag because it's not going to last forever. And hey, even if it doesn't come to fruition, like, and for whatever reason he doesn't play, even though it feels like he's going to play, man, this slate is so deep that you can get like some decent swaps, and the wide receiver tiers are not that stark. You know, like there's so much fragility in the wide receiver tier that CD is such a smash, because if you just go game theory through it, it's like Pickens is hinging upon CeeDee Lamb in terms of target share, right? Rashee Rice coming back. We want to be super bullish about it. We don't definitively know. We think it's 100% wheels up. We think Xavier Worthy's still battling through some stuff. We think, but we don't know, right? Like that. There's that. Justin Jefferson, we don't even know who his fucking quarterback is. You know, like I love Justin Jefferson. Yeah. I want to bet on the talent like Justin Jefferson, but I don't know who the fuck's playing quarterback for them, right? So like, yeah, this just looks like him and Rome look like the two get ahead spots for me right now.
100%. 100%.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, 100 yards in every single game this season. Hasn't broken 20 points. Get the fuck out of here. Who cares? Just because he hasn't scored. I mean, he hasn't scored a touchdown.
He got you.
He's a usage monster. You think I care about past results? I'm looking to the future, baby. I'm seeing the future.
You just got tricked.
I'm at 104 the dog. Well, CD it is. There you go.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm there with you, man. I'm there with you. Let's talk about the other side there, man. Do you anticipate Terry being back?
I don't.
Yeah.
They're getting him back at practice.
Yeah.
But I worry about it. I'm not. Okay. I need full participation before Friday.
Okay. Are you jamming Debo? Are you jamming Bill? I mean, Bill looks like he's got the role, but he fumbled back-to-back games. You know, I don't know. What do we think?
Yeah, it's still Bill season.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Sounds good. So who do you want to play on Washington this week? Just these three? Will you scroll to Ertz as a skinny stack? Will you scroll to, I mean, we're going to be without Noah Brown again. So if you get no Terry, is there any scrolling in the 12 persons of like Chris Moore? Is there any Jalen Lane, anything like that?
Just Ertz.
Okay.
Just Ertz.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem like a bad scroll.
Yeah, you don't want to be the guy. You don't want to be the guy that finds the Keyshawn Boudia this week. You just want to be a chalk dog. You don't want to be that guy.
Who? I mean, if I come across a crystal ball, then maybe I will.
Okay. But maybe Chris Moore. You know, you get Noah Brown. You get that game gets pushed a little bit. You get no Terry in that one. Debo's still a little bit hampered and limited. Who knows? Maybe Chris Moore becomes that scroll in the 12 persons.
Maybe.
Perhaps. Not going to project that way. But if I'm looking for this week's Keyshawn Boutte, I've heard worse ideas. Nez, last game on the slate, dude. Arizona versus the Green Bay Packers. I think everybody hopes that we get Jacoby Brissett again because he kind of unlocked the passing angle of that offense. Cardinals continue to rotate the backfield. They were talking about how they were going to not start Michael Carter and Bam Knight was going to be more involved. And then they do start Michael Carter despite those reports. But then Bam Knight is the one that scores the touchdown. there, which was unfortunate for our pick'em. We played some Michael Carter rushing stuff there early before we knew this information. Trey McBride has his highest volume game of the season there with Jacoby Brissett at the helm. Nice things you could say indoors at Arizona. Marv Harrison Jr. is going to be working through concussion protocol here, which I don't know if he's going to end up playing there. He, I think it was in the second quarter, hit his head pretty hard, left. Then he tried to play back in. Then they took him to the tent. Then they took him home, kind of deal. We saw the Packers come out of the bye. It was such a Josh Jacobs smash spot, and that materialized in a big way. They are the third highest, third highest team in rush rate in the red zone. That bodes well for Josh Jacobs and Josh Jacobs alone. But if you want to come out here and play some Jordan Love passing game narrative, Matthew Golden saw a nice breakout there in a pseudo Jaden Reed type of role, I would call it. It was a really nice game from him. Maybe the touchdowns flow and follow. You could play the touchdown game with a guy like Dobbins here. 44.5 as road favorites in the dome here for the Packers. Thoughts on how you want to attack this one?
With Josh Jacobs.
Yeah.
Yeah. I Golden had a fun game last week, but there wasn't enough volume there to be like, oh yeah, breakout season. He just was pretty efficient on some touches against the Bengals. Definitely Jacobs here against the Cardinals. Okay. Marvin Harrison, we need a limited practice tomorrow. I think if we don't get a limited practice tomorrow, he's screwed. I don't think there's enough time for because you need so many consecutive practices to return from concussion protocol. So that's that's what we're looking for tomorrow from him is a limited practice, if anything. Okay. I think Kraft is always in play. Kraft is available in the 6th round quite a bit. And it's Tucker Kraft. He just has a nose for the end zone. And then McBride, I think, is interesting. Just because, if Marvin Harrison doesn't play, you give him a boost, but how much does it even matter?
Right.
Yeah, I'm struggling with how to handle McBride. I think I'm going to be pretty light is what I'm thinking.
Interesting. Yeah. Do you think we get Kyler this week, or do you think they kind of, hey, you know what, man, the beta's coming out for Call of Duty this week, the
beta's been coming out for 2 months now. When's the beta actually coming out?
I've got no fucking idea, dude. I just know it's Call of Duty season for the nerds.
It's Battlefield 6 season.
Oh, okay.
But maybe he's too loyal to COD. He can't be allowed to play Battlefield 6, but people really like Battlefield 6. I don't know. Maybe that foot is really, really hurting.
It's out. Mr. TD, he knows it's out already. All right, there you go.
That's
why Kyler's got the foot injury. He's got his foot up like this, and he's got the PS5 like this.
M-Wald's got it.
Kyler is the
beta, bro. Yes, he is.
So many ways. Oh, man. I get you Mr. Good Boys in the chat there. He is being a Mr. Good Boy. Nez, let's talk about any whack-a-mole for a pass catcher on either side. Are we excited about what we saw from Matthew Golden? I mean, we saw Zay Jones take a big leap this week with Jacoby Brissett at the helm. If we get Jacoby Brissett again, Zay Jones 5 for 79, is that something dog bowl viable? Like Michael Wilson, if you get no Marvin Harrison and we get Jacoby Brissett?
I'm not doing it.
Okay.
I'm not doing anything from the Cardinal side, man. Not receiving wise. I don't know. Maybe I'll change my tune later in the week, but yeah, as of right now, I can't get there. I struggle with that.
All right. Sounds good. If you had to pick a winner in the backfield, Amari DiMarcado actually got banged up in this one too, which condenses it even further. Any reason to play Bam Knight? Any reason to, go back to the well with Michael Carter? Anything like that? It looks like a full-fledged split here, but I don't know. Thoughts?
No, I can't do it. Can't do it.
All right. Oh, Pokemon ZA tonight. Oh, Pokemon Legends coming out. Okay.
What is that?
The boys are gaming tonight. The boys are gaming. I I don't know, Romeo Dobbs, just betting on touchdown and hoping you get 14 fantasy points?
He's probably the most viable.
Okay.
Because he's, nose for the end zone, just like Kraft.
Right. Yeah. And little, just like more consistent in the role. But yeah, I think you're right about the Jacobs stuff.
Yeah. I gotta jump, John.
Yep.
But just real quick, something that just came across is Josh Downs is in the concussion protocol.
Ooh, interesting.
One time, man. Let's just say, like, Alec Pierce, man.
Ooh.
If this game plays up,
that's sneaky. That's sneaky 12 person. I like it.
I'm just saying.
All right. Yeah, Pittman winning over the middle and then the deep stuff to Alec Pierce. Hey, is Coach Nez in the house right now?
He's in my living room.
Dude, get an appearance for Coach Nez, just to pass through. Coach Nez, come in the other room
let's
here.
Get him.
People have been clamoring for Coach Nez for years.
All right, if he's listening, he should be in here any moment. So
let's get it. Oh,
you can hear him running across the house.
That's 10 up. That's 10 down, Nezzy. I'm gonna hop in some drafts here.
Oh, he was upstairs watching. He's coming.
Okay. Maybe Coach Nez will make the first pick for us.
Let me get situated so we can do standing desk situation here.
Okay. Oh, I get my. All right, we are in the Battle Royale streets here. We are in the 6-person Battle Royale. Obviously, we do not have the projections out just yet, but I'm going to fire up my solver nonetheless to help guide us through. There we go. Fire that in.
All right.
There it is.
Let's bring him in. Dub City.
Dub City. Hold on. There it is. Coach Nez, welcome to the program.
Yeah, thank you. I was listening to it upstairs.
Right on. Who are the good plays, Dub City? Who are the good plays this week?
Jacobs for sure.
Okay, we're Jacobs.
But other than that, who knows? I'm terrible at this.
No, you're not. You took down 4 figures last year.
One time.
That's more than most people can say than this season. 0 times.
That's more than me this season, and I help host this show every day.
Hey, people keep watching though.
Yeah,
that's right. We like the Steelers tomorrow, though, right?
Love the Steelers.
Oh yeah, that's a good spot. We'll talk about that one tomorrow. Nez, what do you think? Should we do paywall tomorrow? Or should we do that one for everyone tomorrow?
I'm TBD tomorrow. Okay. So. Yeah.
If Nez is in, we'll do it for everyone. If Nez is out, we'll do it paywall.
Bet.
All right. Deal. Coach Nez, before you guys spend the day together, you got to make this pick for us. Who do you like?
Saquon, Judkins, or we were talking about CeeDee Lamb big time.
Yeah, I know. Is Lamb going to play?
Oh, yeah.
If Lamb's playing, you got to play him.
All right. I like where your head's at. Let's
start the movement. quit letting CD fall in drafts 2025.
There you go.
Preserve the integrity of the games.
Yeah, protect this house.
All right, man.
All right, guys.
Peace out.
See ya.
Good luck.
See you guys. Enjoy the day. Dub City in the flesh. Love to see it. Coach Nez, longtime supporter of the program. That was fun. Yeah, this interesting dynamic here where you go, hey man, if you're doing the CD stuff, do you run it back with like naked Jaden Daniels, or do you play something like Javonte? Do you play Pickens and run a double? Solver likes the idea of doing the Jaden Daniels QB1 stuff. That's just working off the projections that are on the site right now. I'm going to scroll down. We're going to take Trey McBride here. I do think, like, as we were talking, guys, like, I think the depth of the slate truly is in some of these quarterback scrolls, some of these tight end scrolls, and some of the running back scrolls. So I'm fine doing the CD stuff and being like, yo, we'll get ahead of this right now. But yeah. Jaden and Debo would have been a good idea. Yeah. Yeah, OG Nez. The people love OG Nez. There we go. Love to see it. Big W for the program here. CD pairs well with Taysom. CD always pairs well with Taysom. How will NBA previews look with football still going on? Yeah, good question, Evan. We're talking about that right now and just working through it. We're going to do something hopefully in tandem with Unabated. I did see the question. Was it Jump for you asked in the chat earlier? Guys, hold off on your Unabated purchasing. We have a new rep. Last year, we were dealing with Justin. Justin's no longer with them. We'll figure out what the promo code or if we're going to get some kind of deal to strike up for the start of NBA will be. So hold off right now, and when we make that that decision and we find out what happens later, we'll make it happen. Oh man, let's just start scrolling here. I mean, we could do something funky and take like Mahomes and then take Worthy as like our scroll. We could take Debo or Bill and play the game environment. I think Debo's fine. I'm a little higher on Brees than Nez conceivably was. Let's take Debo. I said the strength of the scrolls were at the running back position. Let's take some running backs after. It's kind of crazy to see DeAndre Swift here at RB12 after the performance he put up Monday night. And then he gets this big box score. Everybody talks about like a scheme shift. Everybody talks about if we were playing the BR games 3 years ago, Swift's ADP would be like in the 20s easily. It'd be up where like Bills was. It's kind of a hat tip and tribute to the strength of the games right now that, you know, people aren't as like swayed by the most recent results, right? All right. Brees Hall looks good. Genty, let's get scrolling, man. I like the Jordan Mason scroll a little bit. Let's have some fun out here, man. Let's take Jordan Mason. Let's take Jordan Mason, play that game through the ground because we're playing this one through the air. We could find another scroll, and then we could go skinny stacking or naked quarterback. Either or is fine. Rico's still there because nobody knows if he's going to play or not, man. Like, is Rico going to be the guy? You know? Is Rico going to be the focal point of that offense? How is Dave Canales going to figure out that split? You know? I'm not sure. Like, if Chuba doesn't play this week, Rico belongs, you know, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, maybe 10 through 14 is probably where Rico belongs. But they're bringing back a bunch of the pass game components as well. And Chuba might be coming back. So I think people are just trying to speculate and get ahead of it right now. I think this is going to be a naked quarterback team for us. I think Jalen Hurts is fine as a naked quarterback. I think Caleb's fine. I think doing Justin Herbert as a skinny stack and playing 3 wide receivers on this team is fine. But I think Drake May is kind of a gift at these ADPs right now. I think this is a pretty nice Drake May spot yet again. So we'll go ahead and take Drake May there. And then I want to make it a 2 running back build. I do think the strength of the scrolls is more at the running backs than it is at the wide receivers. But yeah. Yep. Dog Bowl draft next. Dog Bowl draft next. If you guys want to get in that lobby and line it up, Dog Bowl draft next. Kamara plus Caleb. I like that idea. I'm scared about the touchdown equity on the Kamara. It was nice to see the receiving work return. It was nice to see, you know, him play through a Q tag. My biggest fear with the Kamara-based stuff is that he just doesn't have the goal line in any regard because they're going to do some Taysom bullshit every single time. Scatterboys can mount up here. We could skinny stack Stephon Diggs or Kayshon Boutte or any of those guys. But I said we were going to scroll. I kind of like Nez's idea with the J.K. Dobbins. I'm a little bit scared of split backfield there. What if the Kamani Vidal stuff is just real? Is that box score chasing? Maybe a little bit. But let's do it. Let's put a couple 35s on this team in the running back slot because Nez can't tell me I'm crazy when he's not here. We go Drake May, who's probably going to be a riser for me, but who does he vault is also the other question. It is a very strong quarterback slate, which is going to lead to diversification in ownership within the quarterback there. Yeah, man, this is a fun slate, as Nez alluded to. There's a lot of good scrolling options. There's a lot of playable targets here. My goal is going to be to get some GM CD combos. We did it this fun way just for the sake of the stream. I don't know. Kamani Vidal, people were really excited about him last year. It's not the greatest setup in the world, but if that game plays, decent and to total, could be okay. I do think they still want to use Hassan Haskins a little bit. Let's take a look at what red zone opportunities were last week for the Chargers. Chargers, team red zone. Kamani Vidal, 8 opportunities in the red zone. Hassan Haskins, 1. That's pretty fucking bullish, boys. That is pretty bullish. Yeah. Oh, yeah, damn right, baby. People not overreacting to the Swift one. I'm gonna react to the Vidal one. I'll be that guy. Let's go. Does feel like a giga flop lag spot for Diggs. I like that shout. Yeah. I mean, he just missed on a couple plays last week too. Super scrolling has not felt necessary this year. Yeah, man, the chalk. So I got some macro thoughts about this. I'm gonna fire up a dog bowl and I'll talk to you guys through this. But CeeDee Lamb, Trey McBride, Deebo Samuel, Jordan Mason, Drake May, Kamani Vidal. Not bad. Let's fire up a dog bowl draft here. My first dog bowl of the draft of the year. Or of the week, sorry. 3 more. Chuba expected to play. There you go. That's why everybody was fading Rico. That's where the Rico's ADP should wind up. Okay, macro thoughts on this with the super scrolling effect. The chalk has hit harder than the chalk has ever hit before in the first couple weeks. You could see it on the redacted site. You can hear it when Levitan does his recaps and his reviews and talks about his cash lineups. The cash lineups have been winning everywhere. The cash lineups have been winning everywhere more frequently. Are we getting better at projecting chalk? So chalk is better chalk now than the chalk has ever been before. Maybe. That could very well be the case. Also, it could just be a very small sample size, right? Like we're working off of 6 weeks. I know 6 weeks feels long because it's a month and a half. But if we were playing basketball slates, it's 1 week. It's not even 1 week yet, right? And resetting your mindset to being like, yeah, if I missed on 6 straight nights of NBA ADPs hitting, yeah, I guess. So what? Like the scroll is still the theoretical principle. It's just we're dealing with such small sample sizes, right? The scrolls have come at the quarterback position this year with stacked along chalk entities. And everything else that has been winning has been like a one-off piece or like we saw last week, super chalk lineup, right? So, yeah. I don't know. Those are my thoughts. What if the New England run game is what you need? I mean, it could be. We talked about that. We get 3 wide receivers going, 3 running backs going right there. It's time to take CeeDee Lamb, wide receiver 1. Go ahead and do that one up. We got some friends and family in this one. I'll give it one less zoom so we could see. Jasta's hanging out, already got a dog bowl seat. Angelic's hanging out, already got a dog bowl seat. Go Cards hanging out, already got a dog bowl seat. Holy smokes. Travioli's in the chat. Hockey Hooligans in the chat. 12 Fluid Ounce is always hanging around. J-Cam's in the chat. Respook's in the chat. Drap is probably lurking and probably just drafting on the side, but he was the last year qualifier. He's there. And then our guy Eggers. Eggers always hanging out as well. Love to see it. Love to see it. Joey thinking if Chua doesn't play, Rico would be a top 6 pick. I think that's bullish. I think he'd be I think he'd project in the 9 to 10 range. 9 to 10. I'd put some of the receivers over him. Yeah, where did you guys see the expected to play nugget? Was that on the official Underdog stuff? Let's see. Big night for my Mariners tonight. I'm seeing the lineup right now. They're going to keep going with what was working. George Kirby at home tonight. Let's get it. Let's get it. I'm excited to be a laundry bro. There you go. Underdog official account 5 minutes ago. Expects to play. Terry was limited at practice. Josh Downs, concussion protocol. George Kittle will have that conversation when it comes to the other slates there. Ricky Pearsall not practicing. Purdy not practicing. So we'll talk through that stuff. Canales on Rico Dowdle's role. He's earned the right to help this team, and we'll find a way for him to do that. All right. I don't know. Hey, don't get ahead of yourself, my guy. Don't get ahead of yourself. Not yet. Oh, there we go. Socrates is in the 5. There you go. Love to see it. It's like Straftis 91 we're going with. Yeah, such a gross quote. Such a gross quote. All right, let's take a peek at what's going on here. Rico continues to fall. The tight ends will be there for us. I think DeAndre Swift is a fine spot. Jordan Mason goes at 20 in this draft. I think that's totally fine. Waddle's kind of fun if you want to set up like a double stack. Nez liked Olave. I'm cool with it. Let's take Waddle. Gives us another out at quarterback. That game could be gross. The weather in that game could be bad as well. Maybe a little bit of rain there. Cleveland this time of year, mid 60s. Definitely some rain potential. We'll wait and see. Man, the interception Tua threw to end the game against the Chargers. Chargers go ahead. Miami gets the ball back with 7 seconds left. The only opportunity in the world is like flea flicker, crazy shit, right? Laterals, all this kind of stuff. Maybe you could throw like one out and up for like 12 yards, get a little bit closer. And then you throw like one 12-yard out and then you go deep on the following play. And instead, Tua throws it 4 fucking yards downfield right into a defender's hand. AJ Brown to push. Yeah. I mean, I respect it if they get pushed. I respect that take, guys. I respect that take. Rico's still there if we want it. I mean, I'm scared, man. Maybe it's a little bit of a GM, but I think his ADP is pushing toward where we think it belongs. Nez like J.K. Dobbins. I'm fine playing J.K. Dobbins. But if we don't take Dak here, we're probably not getting Dak. So let's take Dak and do the CeeDee Lamb plus Dak stack. If you guys had to vote for MVP right now, you had to vote for MVP. Obviously, the season's not over. Who are you giving MVP to? Like, are you weighting it toward wins, like we've seen, historically speaking, voters do? You know, like who are you giving MVP to right now? Has to be Baker. Yeah, Baker's been a dog, man, and they've been so injured. Baker, God mode, Baker. Okay. Sam Darnold's actually not crazy, but yeah, he hasn't been Baker. And Baker beat him straight up. Baker or Patty Mahomes. I respect it. Yeah. That's kind of how I feel. I haven't looked at like the futures market. Yeah. Drake May. I could hear that. Drake May's played incredibly. The knock on, Silva had that take preseason, and they got a pretty good bet down at ETR with that one. And that was pretty sharp just in general. But the knock always from Lev to Silva was that, hey, he might not have the counting stats to go alongside it. And just because of the rate at which they throw. And he might have the counting stats to go alongside it at the rate in which he's going now. So that's a fun one. Mahomes, if he keeps it up. Baker from Rob. Yeah. Kind of like a three-headed race right now. Imagine that, though. I mean, imagine a month and a half ago, I told you that, like, the names that we were going to be talking about on this program. It's interesting nobody said Dak. I mean, Dak is playing out of his mind. It's just the team's not winning enough games, I guess. But if I told you that the conversation we were having in week 7 weeks ago, was Baker, Dak, almost everyone and their dog thought Baker was overpriced in BBM. Almost everyone was like, that's the worst pick on the board. I don't know. But if I told you the conversation was going to be between, Drake May, Dak, a Sam Darnold shout, Mahomes, and, who else did we throw out? Baker. Yeah. I mean, geez. CH saying the Pats' remaining schedule allows for a strong push. Wow. Nice. Yeah, don't forget Danny Dimes and JT. I mean, that's the only team that's 5-1, right? Appreciate you joining up, CH. JSN MVP for the people. I mean, offensive player of the year considerations, right? If Puka doesn't remain healthy, JT falls off a little bit. Offensive player of the year, JSN, why not? Ooh, Harold Fannin getting cheeky out here. All right. We got a CeeDee Lamb plus Dak start. Then we got the Waddle pick, which, I don't know. Don't mind it. Don't hate it. Could take some QJ here. That could age well. The Pittman stuff could age really well if Downs is out. I don't love 3 wide receiver builds, but we're not going to love taking 2 running backs from this grouping. But Kamara does stand out amongst this grouping of wide receivers. Let's say Kamara. Awen was on the program. Awen's a Kamara guy. Awen got Awen got Kamara to the dog bowl. We're going to get Kamara to the dog bowl here. Little scared about as Taysom ramps up snaps that he just becomes the goal line back. Yeah. Warren will age well with the down stuff for sure. Yeah, Fannin went early there, but I'm not gonna question it. AZ Cards has got a seat to the Dog Bowl. I do not. Coach of the year, Shanahan, because how the hell are the Niners 4-2? It's true. It's true. Please tell me to stop drafting round 1, Justin Jefferson. No, Ryan, I will not. Keep going, buddy. Keep going. I think the projection of that front end tier of running backs is very fragile. I think there are some smash spots in there, but I think it's Taylor, it's Jacobs, it's CeeDee Lamb, it's Justin Jefferson, it's Rome. Like, those guys are the smashes. Saquon's fine. Javonte Williams is fine. Achan's fine because the role's so effing strong, but the matchup's terrible. Judkins is fine because the inverse is true. The role's okay, but the matchup's incredible. He's stone cold chalk on redacted and will project very well. But I'm not going to tell you to stop clicking first round Justin Jefferson. No chance. I think you're right. I think it's a quarterback agnostic play. I think we saved the tight end spot for last. I was not paying attention to who has tight ends and stuff yet. I think we play the Pacheco narrative. You guys seem to think he's going to have an expanded role. Score a couple touchdowns as huge favorites on the ground. Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm thinking of a guy that we could have taken there, but he might come back. Let's see. On the right-hand side of the board, 3 tight ends have gone. Now 4 tight ends have gone. So we just got to fade one of these 3 teams taking a tight end. Fluid Ounces will not take that tight end. Man, how poorly has Colston Loveland versus Ty Warren aged? Like, that was a genuine discourse and debate. That was a genuine discourse. And one is playing through the same injury that he had in the preseason. And then we were hoping for a post-bye rookie bump on Monday night. I don't know. And the others, like, might be tight end 1. That was one of the biggest 1v1s of the season. And the community, in fairness, got it right as it came down the stretch. Because Warren did flip him and move up like 2 spots. But man. Got so hyped on Hayden's Loveland comps. Yeah. And I mean, like, the narrative was there too, Owens. The Owens. The narrative was fully there that we could go ahead and just, like, 1-for-1. Ben Johnson, Laporta, rookie season. Let's run it back. Like, it was so clean. It was so clean. We're like, Caleb takes a step forward. The offense takes a step forward. They made improvements on the offensive line. Like, it was, the narrative was so clean too, right? Not even just the player comp angle. The narrative comp angle was there. Yeah. What drafts you been doing? Andy's asking. Yeah, this is Dog Bowl qualifier. This is Dog Bowl qualifier here. Trying to get ourselves to Kansas City to hang out with my friends. Quinion Mitchell practice today. Good shouts. Good shouts. AZ Cards thinks he found his fastball, eh? AZ Cards thinks he found his fastball after he won a Dog Bowl seat. Coming in here talking a little shit, huh? Love it. Love it. There's a Luther Burden scroll. I like that. That's a fun little double stack. If you get no DJ Moore, sharp stuff from Angelix there. Wandale Robinson, there's a guy we didn't talk about. He's probably not going to get the Patrick Surtain treatment. He had a really strong role and scored, 2 touchdowns? 1 touchdown. It was like 18 fantasy points in the Island game and kind of broke that Primetime Palooza slate wide open. You needed him. 7 targets, 6 receptions, 84 yards, and a score against Philadelphia. We could go ahead and queue up. I wanted Zach Ertz as the bring back, and we get Zach Ertz to come all the way back. Don't know how I feel about the Pacheco stuff. I think it is a little bit of wish casting, but 11.5 point favorites at home does set up quite well. I like the Trey Tucker pick there. That one feels like a good scroll in this contest. He could be the 1A to Jacoby Myers 1B. Jacoby Myers wanted to trade before the season. Why did Jacoby Myers want to trade before the season? Why? Get your win herself. Why did Jacoby Myers want to trade before the season? I don't know. Did he know that the writing was on the wall? That Trey Tucker was going to be a bigger part of the offense than he anticipated? Did he know Gino was going to be this low A-dot, never push the ball downfield guy, and his role was going to suck? Ricky Beer says he just wanted to get paid. Okay. That was one that I was thinking about earlier there. We were talking about the Rico stuff. Rico got $2.4 million, and I think it was like 2.6 or something against the cap. I'm doing this from memory, but I think it was thereabouts, right? And Miles Sanders got basically the same base rate salary. He just didn't get the signing bonus portion of it. So that extra $1 million was what made the Cowboys retain or made the Cowboys give up on Rico and take Miles Sanders, who's now done for the year, which is, that let's not be results oriented with that. But that was like the tipping point. Huh. Crazy. Eggers is asking, John, would you have gone Fields there or Nix plus Sutton? I think I'm team Nix plus Sutton. I just Fields feels so hard to get home this week. Like, what does Fields look like if he gets home this week, right? I don't know. But Nix plus Sutton from a combinatorial ownership, because Nix is free. Like, if Nix is owned, let's call it 40% in this contest as QB 13, I think of that 40%, 85 of those teams will be Nix plus Sutton. You know what I mean? So maybe you did yourself a combinatorial ownership service of going with Fields instead of Nix. And the same could be said about Respooked going with Nix there naked. But I do think in a vacuum, I would do the Nix plus Sutton because, like, Fields winning us this week, what is it? It's 1 to Mason Taylor, 1 to Breece Hall, and 1 on the ground. And they score 21 points. I mean, the game total and team total isn't that crazy that they could do that. Like, it's 41.5, and they are 1-point dogs. So their implied team total is like 20. If that 20 turns into 21 and it's 3 touchdowns instead of 2 touchdowns and 2 field goals, and it's 2 passing, 1 rushing or inverse, Fields could definitely get home. I'm coming around. It's kind of gross, but yeah, that's a tough 1v1, especially when you have the stack, because the ownership will favor the stack. Ryan's asking, is in the 6 persons, is it worth waiting on tight end? I think tight end's deep this week. I mean, I like McBride a lot always, but like we've seen that the ceiling that he's more of a floor play than he's a ceiling play. And then you hope he scores a touchdown and gives you like 15, 16, 17 fantasy points. He doesn't have that like 25 burger that breaks the slate wide open. Now, maybe if they get Jacoby Brissett again this week, which clearly unlocked something. So you get Jacoby Brissett again this week. He throws 30 plus times, and you get no Marvin Harrison Jr. in that game. Well, now maybe we could talk about, clear cut tight end one on the slate, Trey McBride. But I do think the scrolls at tight end this week, not terrible. Not terrible. This is a decently strong game environments for tight ends slate. Interesting to see DJ Moore gets drafted at 71 there for Drap. High reward, low risk play like that. Yeah. All right, guys. I think we're going to call it there. My final team, CeeDee Lamb, Jalen Waddle, Dak Prescott, Alvin Kamara, hat tip to Awen, one of the best players on the site. Thanks for joining. Again, Isaiah Pacheco, and then a little bring back of Zachary Ertz in that one. Double tight end. Okay, some double tight end narrative. Kelsey with 3 touchdowns. I could see it, man. Fields plus Mason Taylor is a pretty sick BR double scroll. 450 and 2 gets it done most weeks, and is totally in the range of outcomes for Taylor. That's a really good shout. Very good shout. Candles, appreciate you. Thank you, man. Yeah, this is how we're going out today. Should a switch hitting catcher win MVP this year? Yes. Yes. Fuck your analytics. Fuck everything else. The catcher in question didn't have a single pass ball. Not even one passed ball this season. Unheard of. Something like 9,000 pitches he caught. I think it was 8,800 and something pitches that he caught. Not one pass ball. Didn't get nominated for a Gold Glove this year. He was a Platinum Glove Award winner last year. He's a 60 home run switch hitting catcher who's going to will a franchise that has never been to a World Series into the World Series. And you're going to ask me about some fucking Aaron Judge stuff. No chance. Get off my lawn. Aaron Judge, man, all the advanced metrics are going to tell you Aaron Judge. And all the advanced catching metrics will tell you that like Alejandro Kirk and stuff was a better catcher this year. But let my homer flag fly. And Cal Raleigh is your MVP this year. Yeah, Razor saying what we said earlier. 0 cornerbacks. They had to use Austin Doolin. Wow. I did not know that. 0 cornerbacks on the Colts. Yeah, we talked about it when we were going game by game there. To watch the practice report for they have no cornerbacks, and doubling down from a Colts fan there. All right, guys, back tomorrow. Don't know if it's going to be forward facing or not, so make sure you're signed up for a Bash Bros membership. Going to do the Primetime Palooza Thursday night times the international game times Sunday night. Really fun slate, including Nez's Steelers on there. Going to do some more hoops. I saw a question in the chat earlier about the hoops stuff. Yes, we're trying to set something up with Unabated to get like a big preview for the daily streets going. We might have to flip our calendar a little bit starting next week because the big hoop slates tend to be Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And those are currently like the big preview show is on Wednesday today, like that sort of stuff. We might have to switch some things up, and Winner's Circle goes to Tuesday and preview goes to Tuesday. And then basketball is Monday, Wednesday, sometimes Friday, as well as often on the clock. It's going to be a lot of heavy schedule lifting for us, but we're figuring it out. The Gale say Marvin Harrison limited practice, so that's what Nez said. If he logged a DMB today, he was dead. But if he gets an LP today, he gets to keep progressing in the concussion protocol. So keep your ears to the street for that one. Thank you for that, the Gale. All right. Everybody's favorite time of the show, the end. Shout out to Unabated. Shout out to the Solver. Back tomorrow. Everybody's favorite time of the show, the end. Peace.